ये तहि न भूतैर्महद्भिर्यैमां पुरा विभो निर्मायशेते यदमोषपूरुषः भुङ्क्ते गुणान् षोडश षोडशात्मकम् स्वलङ्करिशिष्टभगवन् वचांसि मे यथा हरौ भगवती नृणां भक्तिर्भविष्यति सर्वात्मनि अखिलाधारे इति सङ्कल्पवर्णय दशमस्य विशुद्ध्यर्थं नवानामिह लक्षणं वर्णयन्ति महात्मानः श्रुतेन अर्थेन चान्यसा. Hare Krishna. So, welcome all of you for continuation of our Bhakti Vaibhav sessions. We are discussing about Prithu Maharaj. So, before beginning, so today's greatest astonishing point in the class for me was that Krishna predicted who will reveal the pastimes of Vrindavan. Who is going to reveal? Shukdev Goswami. And that is there in the first story end. फर्स्ट स्टोरी का एंड हुआ, वहां पर बहुत बड़ा लीला है. सो I was so mesmerized. I want to search where is the verse, and then laptop also got discharged. So I have to close and keep it. So then I was wondering, अरे ये कुछ कहाँ है सब? But before then I opened mobile and there is SMS already. And my dear friend, our Bhagavad Katha Prabhu sent the SMS verse only. That verse where it says. So Krishna is telling Satyabhama in Brihad Bhagavatamrit, text 117. I'll read the translation. Just one person, almost as dear to me as the devotees of Vraj, yes, will be able to describe those topics. Those means Vraj topics. Because Satyabhama and all other queens, they are feeling that only, na? He is with us, but he is not with us because he is calling someone else. So they are wondering, what is this? So then Krishna tells them, this is all Bhagavad Gita Prabhu told the purport afterwards. Iske baju mein kya hai? Prasada. So he said that Krishna tells them, actually, I love you because you remind me of gopis. That's the whole thing. That's how he tells them, all the queens. Huh? Satyabhama? Satyabhama reminding? Glories or whatever, means basically they are all queens are seeing that Vrajvasi gopis are exalted. So they want to know. So who will tell? So Satyabhama, Krishna is telling Satyabhama that who will tell you? No one can tell, but this person. Just one person. Just one means what? No one else. Correct? Just one person, almost as dear to me as devotees of Raj. Means he is not as dear. Almost. Nashta prayeshu avadreshu. Like that. Will be able to describe those topics of Raj. Name is given, Shukdev, the son of Badarayana Vyas. This first statement. By the power of his great love, in the mood of Rajvasis, he will speak something of those matters. So what is there in Bhagavatam? Something of those matters. That is few chapters of first 33 chapters. In that something is there. That's all. Something of those matters. To whom he will speak? That also is his excellent disciple, Parikshit, who resembles him in spiritual qualities and whom I once brought back to life. What a verse, no? Amazing. So let us. Eka sa me tad vraja loka vrata priyas tadrunga mahaprema bhara prabhavatah vakshatyadah kinchana badarayinir mam jivite shishya vare swanan sasannibhe. So that is there. So what you are thinking, I am also thinking. Timeline. ये कब बोला किसने कब बोला करोगे
मतलब ये भागवत राम तो बाद में रिवील्ड हुआ ना, तो इसका बहुत बताओ ये फ्यूचर टेंस में बोलने का।
इसलिए मैंने बोला आपको क्या करने का, कल एक रस्सी लेके आओ क्या करने का. See, he is asking another question. So tell him what to do. Tell.
जो स्पीकर है उनको पकड़ने का है
वो घुसे है ना उसमें. He can answer all these questions. You want to hear some speculation? So better. And what I told, I just not said that. Just go and ask. I said that you take a rope. Take a rope. And after the class, we should tie the person there. And we should give him the mic. And we should sit there and ask. छोटा क्या राधे श्याम बोलेंगे तो बड़ा देंगे उनको, तो और अच्छा लगता है ये चर्चा. वही तो हो रहा है अभी, भागवत सप्ताह ही तो चल रहा है. लेकिन ये क्या है बीच में इतना, मैं सोचा सुबह से शाम तक चलना चाहिए एक्चुअली. फ्लो में ऐसा ब्रेक भी मस्त चलता है, लेकिन अभी उधर छोड़ दिया. एंड देन देयर शुड बी डिस्कशन, देन मोर नेक्स्ट. तो कैन यू इमेजिन व्हाट विल हैपन. So at least you should express your questions and try to get the answers. That will, even if you don't get answer, you will become Krishna conscious. That is most important. सिद्धांत बलिय चित्ते ना करे आलस, इहा हैते कृष्ण लागे सुदृढ़ मानस. So we will never get answer of all questions. But still what we should do? If we get a question, we should ask. If you don't get, don't ask, no problem. But if you get it, better ask. And best person to ask is the speaker. Next level is someone else. First is speaker, because he knows he's empowered by the parampara to answer your question. Because of your sincerity. Even if he doesn't know, he can answer. Why? Because he's sitting on Vyasasa. That is the power of parampara. So, like that, there are so many questions can come. But this is so endearing actually. So, Shukdev Goswami, if we follow, that is following Vrajvasi. Shukdev Goswami. Such an amazing person. Entire Dwarka, what they don't know, he knows. And who is the other person, Uddhava. But I am wondering why Uddhava is not being spoken here. This is my question. Because Krishna sent Uddhava there, right? Uddhava personally heard from Nanda and Yashoda. Yashoda didn't speak anything, but he saw her love. And then he met the gopis. Then he saw Brahmar Gita, Radharani's pinnacle of love. Then he's desiring all this. So can he not describe me? So that goes to show Sukdev is so exalted. He's more exalted than Uddhava or not. That is the question. So please, in case if you know, please tell. To help us to understand nicely. Because tartamya among devotees is very important. That is all Brihad Bhagavatamrita is all about, right? Tartamya means what? Hierarchy. Who has received the greatest mercy? So let us go ahead. Let us come back to Prithu Maharaj now. Prithu Maharaj instructing the it's completely different topic than Brihad Bhagavatamrita. But this is on the way to that only. Because same Shukdev Goswami is speaking. For us, he is ushering us to where? 10th canto. This is all Krishna Katha only. It's all, what is going on? It's all Krishna Katha only. So, let us begin. So, we have lost one more devotee today. Parjan Priya Prabhu, Hari Bol. But he is there online, and Jagdishwar Mohan Prabhu also. Okay, okay, he's also not there. He's in voice maybe. So we are remembering him also, who has given me opportunity to contemplate and for you opportunity to cultivate tolerance by hearing Bhagavatam. So we should be grateful to him. So 21st chapter, correct. Pruthu instructs the citizens. So before we go ahead, some quick recap, not recap, I would not say, something, some points of yesterday. Quick, huh? Quick, don't elaborate or like that. Something is there in your system.
Parikshit Maharaj, Prabhupada Maharaj asked, I want so many years. Because that instructions want to give him that liberation of various gifts.
Give me. I'll hear. Harivo. Full utility. Utility is the principle. Yeah. Anyone else? Anything else? Online, offline? Yesterday's.
Purity of purpose is spoken yesterday. That purities of purpose. We have Prithu Maharaj expressed in his prayers the prayers that purity of purpose only. Yes, Lord says that by such purity of purpose only one can cross over this
Maya.
Maya.
Yeah, very nice.
So Prithu Maharaj expressed the core desire. Of course, although he look like he's managing everything, but in core desire is pure devotional service.
Like
So
Lakshmi.
vidasta karna yuta me shavevara. Yes, he is asking for millions of years to hear Krishna
Hari
Katha.
bol, jai ho.
Thank you. Okay.
Hari bol. Actually, I had a question. If he is given two chances, you want to hear Katha or you want to serve the lotus feet? What he will choose?
Hear
He's
Katha.
asking for both, right? I want to do service like Lakshmi, but I want millions of years. So, huh?
In coming from the lotus feet of God through the moon.
Correct. So means this is there only. Oh, very nice. So in this, that also is there.
Yesterday, loving dealings between Lord and devotees is worth hearing than thousands of lectures.
Yes, worth hearing, and more than that, worth witnessing. Because that's what the priest witness who are attached to karma. Last 100 sacrifices they did. But they got now so many sacrifices, Vishnu was coming. But such exchange may not be there that time. Vishnu was coming, that is sure, right? That Mahotsavam earlier verse we saw. So Vishnu was coming, Devatas are coming, but such exchange they never saw. But because of Indra, they saw such loving exchange where he is getting, he is crying. So then they were inspired. So it's a very fortune to get to see the interaction between Lord and his devotee or hear about it. Lord and devotee, we have to hear only. We are not like Maitreya that we can see. But for pure devotees, we should see actually. Wherever they are there, we should try to see them, observe them. Very nice point.
Glorify about the Prabhupada purport, how he bring the Gonitai.
Yes. How he brings in what we should do. So the verse may say, take shelter of Krishna and Balram. But Prabhupada will say, take shelter of Gaurnitai. And
They
then how
dissipate the
it is.
darkness.
How it is, that also we discuss. That what is that tama? Tama. What is that? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Nityananda Prabhu had appeared in Gauda Desh simultaneously to remove the tama from heart. Desire for dharma arth काम मोक्ष में 4 पुरुषार्थ का डिजायर, ये तम है. मतलब ये बिस्लरी बॉटल तम है, समझो आप. मतलब निषिद्ध कर्म ये तो गंदा पानी है, वो तो नहीं चाहिए, बट बिस्लरी भी नहीं चाहिए हम. ये है पुरुषार्थ. और क्या है? बिस्लरी का टॉप मोस्ट है हिमालय, वो है मोक्ष. वो भी नहीं चाहिए, क्योंकि वो सबसे बड़ा चीटिंग है, अकॉर्डिंग टू भागवतम। सबसे बड़ा चीटिंग मोक्ष। कुछ नहीं, नहीं चाहिए। सो दिस दे डू, एंड शुभ अशुभ इच्छा इज शुभ अशुभ कार्य, शुभ अशुभ कार्य इज तम। So these three are, and how they remove, how they have come to remove them, in what way they will remove those things from our heart? By two Bhagavatas. One is book Bhagavat, other is person Bhagavat. So book Bhagavat is Bada Bhagavat, Bada Shastra, and Dui Bhakta Bhakti Rasera Patra. So not any Tom, Dick, Harry, Bhakta or anyone. वन हु भक्ति रस का पात्र है, उसका हृदय में मतलब रस है। भक्ति रस का पात्र मतलब क्या? उसके हृदय में रस है, मतलब शुद्ध भक्त बेसिकली। स उत्तम श्लोक काइंड ऑफ पर्सन, रसा इज देयर, रसिक। आई वुड से लाइक वेरी एक्सॉल्टेड प्योर डिवोटी। यस प्रभु, थैंक यू। ओके, सो विल बिगिन विद द 41st chapter, instructions by Maharaj Prithu, 4:21:1. मैत्रेय उवाच मौक्तिकः कुसुमस्रग्भिर्दुकूलैः स्वर्णतोरणैः महासुरभिर्धूपैर् तत्र तत्र वै।
The great sage Maitreya told Vidura, when the king entered his city, it was very beautifully decorated to receive him with pearls, flower garlands, beautiful clothes, and garland gates, and the entire city was perfumed with highly fragrant incense.
Yeah. So basically, now the context we saw, like last chapter, what happened? Lord appeared, prayers happened, and Lord replied, Lord gave instructions, and then Lord left. So others could not see, but Prithu could see him later also. Samdarshitatmanaha. So that's how the chapter ended. So after Lord left, now what is happening further? Story is continuing. So the king entered his city. And the next many verses are going to describe about the decorations of the city. But what is there in the chapter? That is, let us see, Karika. In the 21st chapter, Prithu decorated with all beauty, an ocean of humility. Haribo. So this is the symptom. Today so much discussion happened on that. Prashraya Abdi, that's the word used. Prashraya, not Dainya. So what is the difference? We should ask. Prashraya Abdi, that is ocean of humility, gives instructions to the citizens during a great sacrifice. That is the summary. So Prithu decorated with all beauty. So first I think 10, 11 verses are telling that only, his entrance into, and the nice festivity of the city. And then next is from 11 to what, 16? 11 to 20 is his beauty and all that. And his speech and his what? Bodily features, yeah, beauty. Detailed explained beauty of Prithuman. There are verses. And then from 21 to 44 are the instructions which he gives to the, not just citizens actually, so many types of people are there. Practically everyone is there. There is picture also. Huh? See, that's the essence of the chapter. That, I think this one, 4:21:1, exactly, very nice. This verse only is picturized here in this book. So he seems to be entering. So, and then he starts instructing. So there are, appears to be devatas and many other people also there, sages, not just Praja is there. That's why he will first, very good. So that is 44, and last part is, I think the Praja speaks glory of Kruthu, something like that. Citizens praise Pruthu. So that's how a big chapter, 52. However, other verses are, means first, it is not so much discussion. but the instructions are very powerful, very eye-opening actually. Hmm? And Prabhupada tells what an administrator should be, how he should speak, how what he should expect, how he should communicate clearly. Yesterday, one example, yesterday or day before yesterday, Pandurang Shanpu asked that nice question. So in that answer, I was quoting one verse from this chapter, that he tells his praja, that my dear praja, please be merciful unto me by doing your own duties. Just as you offer pinda for welfare of your forefathers, you do your duties for my welfare. So such kind of lecture have you heard from any administrator? So Prithu is speaking like praja. That is ocean of humility. So he's saying, I am Dandadhara. I am going, see, speaking like this means not that he is not punishing. He's going to punish also. But see the consciousness in which he is saying these things. And you do your duty for my welfare. Because why my welfare? Because Lord has appointed me your king. So for my Lord has instructed me in last chapter, right? That do praja and see to it that they engage in their varnashram duties and don't, if they do sin, what will come to me? That subtle law, Lord told him, right? He says that to them, actually. So means of course indirectly he says, not directly. एक वन फिक्स मेरे को आएगा ऐसा नहीं बोलते हो. हाँ हाँ, yes, that's what is important. Positive also, negative also. That's the sure, and that's the basic minimum. Of course, for devotee it is wedge tool and dice tool, but still it's important. For king it is important. Right? For his seva it is important. Otherwise he will have problem. So he speaks that also, Dandadhara. So he's remembering instructions and he's expressing that I am acting on behalf of Lord. दंड धरा हूँ, दंड से धरा हूँ मतलब दंडा यूज करूंगा. तो आप मेरे के ऊपर कृपा करो और आप क्या करो, आपका ड्यूटी बहुत अच्छे से करो भगवान की खुशी के लिए. उससे क्या होगा, मेरा भला होगा, आप मेरा भला करो. Like that he says. So those instructions are very nice. There will be discussion. So let us go ahead. The previous chapter stated that Prithu returned to his city, right? So he returned. So while returning, what happened? What is the scene? So now Sukdev Goswami is putting camera there. How he is entering, all the festivity. So this is quite similar to Krishna entering Dwarka. Very much similar. 3 verses are this city. So here the decoration is very natural. Right? There are not plastic and all that things are not there. You can see natural. Prabhupada writes about that. So flower garlands, cloths, golden arches, fragrant incense in various places. Aguru and all. So let us see that. So first statement is that one. Read. Yeah.
Real opulence is supplied by natural gifts such as gold, silver, pearls, valuable stones, fresh flowers, trees, and silk and cloth. Thus, the Vedic civilization recommends opulence and decoration with these natural gifts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such opulence immediately changes the condition of the mind, and the entire atmosphere becomes spiritualized. King's, King Prithu's capital was decorated with such highly opulent decorations.
So this statement is very important. Such opulence, what happens? Immediate changes the condition of mind. So natural things are natural and life. They are what? They are not dead. They are life. They have life. That's why मुरझा जाते हैं उसके बाद. Correct ना? Flowers are fresh after मुरझा जाते. Life रहता है उनमें. बट तब वैसा ही अपने अगर प्लास्टिक का लगाया फ्लावर वैसा ही दिखेगा वो. लेकिन दैट विल बी डेड. That will have maybe opposite effect. I don't know what kind of effect it will have. But that is what is important. Or so fragrant flowers are very important. I had this question, still have the question. You see in NOD it's written that fragrant flowers should be offered to the Lord. And many times everywhere we see the flowers are very beautiful, but there is no fragrance. So will it please Krishna? That's what I have question. I don't know. Because NOD is saying that Krishna is not worrying how he looks. Means, of course, that is there. But essence of flower is what? Fragrance. Essence of a person is his character, not how he looks. That is second. Fragrance. Now, Kadamba Vriksha is, of course, beautiful, but in a different way, right? उनका फ्लावर कितना अलग ही है, गोल फ्लावर होता है उसका. और गुंजमाला देखा है ना हमने, some different only it is. But Krishna likes. So, fragrant flowers. Actually, GV, when I was there, if you go closer and take darshan, na, you can, yeah, have you got that experience? Radha Vrindavan, where you can go quite close actually. छोटा सा altar है ना. You can fragrance भी आता है उधर. Balram Shakti Prabhu would personally, means he was the in charge of growing the flowers. Yeah, for so many years. Maybe now also he might be involved. Such an amazing flowers and garlands. Fragrance will come. Right? Yeah, that's what Krishna wants. They break also quickly. So, vision is there. Very nicely looking it is. हाँ, तो वही मेरा, I had doubt. I wanted to ask. Actually, one in Bhakti Shastri class, someone asked this question. I could not answer also. I said, I also have that question. अरे हाँ, DT department, हरी बोल, yes. हाँ, attractive flowers. So it remains also whole day. Nice. It will remain for 2 hours, then we have to make another garland after 2 hours. And then Prabhupada wanted we should go and out and preach, right? So maybe. I don't know. Maybe that. Yeah. At least at the time of Aarti, he gets. But we put in lotus feet of flowers. Yes. Yeah. Like chadi is quite fragrant. Chadi also they put, na? Many times. So anyway, because it has effect. Otherwise, the dead decorations look very nice. How many of you observed when fruit decoration is there? How amazing it looks. I don't know what. The vision is so beautiful. No, mango लगाते हैं, नहीं तो ये लगाते हैं ना अंगूर और पत्ते लगाते हैं. वो ऊपर भी किया था बालाजी में, औरंग पॉइंट पर, इधर भी किया था बात, और गेंदा का भी किया था जन्माष्टमी. हाउ ब्यूटीफुल इट लुक्स. Amazing it is. It has a different effect actually. Fruits look more amazing. Very. Because it has immediate change the condition of mind. That's what Prabhupada is. An entire atmosphere becomes spiritualized. Because it has spirit. It has life. That's it. Here? Ah, yes. Oh, really? I am going against the parampara.
And never fruit hanging. There are flower and leaves hanging. But fruits were never to be hanged. So they,
Correct. There is
like
no description like that. There is no description. Huh? So
banana leaves and that mention flowers mentions hanging, but
बनाना का वो पूरा वो भी रहेगा बनाना के साथ.
वो होल पेड़ है ना, वो तो पूरा ट्रंक के साथ में रहता है, वो अलग है. वो अलग से वो हैंगिंग
नहीं
के लिए हमारे जो सेवातुल प्रभु और शीतलांग औरंग प्रभु थे ना, they have objected.
गुरु साधु शास्त्र.
But still it continued, so we also continued.
Actually, that's right. Actually, description, let us see whether it is there. Most correct what now, since he say. It may not be described. I have not read anywhere that fruits are hanged, although it may look nice. But same thing in Vedas, such garlands are there then, which are not fragrant.
think for decoration, I think it's allowed. I think
That's what.
decoration,
That's
but
question comes.
but directly on the body scented is recommended. Uh, means it's maybe
But
philosophy.
garland also should be fragrant, right?
For garland fragrant,
Ah,
decoration may be allowed. Right?
ah, decoration is somewhere fragrant has to be there. Lord should relish the fragrance. Change the condition of mind. Haribol. And foams and all, it's dead actually. But of course, in that they put flowers. But that is quite different decoration. It has a different talk. It's a different vibration. But it looks beautiful. Vaishnavas like. So here we are not criticizing anything, but we are just trying to understand what is said here. Ahead, please read. Fragrant water.
Fragrant water distilled from sandalwood and aguru herb was sprinkled everywhere on the lanes, roads, and small parks throughout the city, and everywhere decorations of unbroken fruits, flowers,
Haribol.
vetted grains, varied minerals, and lamps, all presented as auspicious paraphernalia.
A specific hanging. ठीक है रख सकते हैं फिर आम का चलेगा हैंग मत करो नो प्रॉब्लम ठीक some part is correct
Everywhere there are decorations of.
yes decorations of unbroken fruit so one of the decoration is hanging like that is okay no problem but something is there amazing फल see pushpa akshata falaihi tokmair क्या what exactly yes that's what is the word I am seeing पुष्प अक्षत फलई अक्षत फलई and तोकमयी लजई weighted grains अर्चिभिः अर्चितम decorated with unbroken flowers इतना ही है मतलब करेक्ट तो ये उनको भेज सकते हैं तो जी टुडे आई रेड दिस what do you think is it only about hanging its problem or what no it's not a challenge it's just a clarification because we are reading one verse they have read a lot of scriptures I heard one lecture Prabhuji I saw he was so concerned actually not Sevatula Prabhu other devotee na he gave Bhagavatam class Shitlang Gorang Prabhu so his throat was not good still he was speaking with so much of enthusiasm in that seminar I happened to come. Why? I don't know. For some time, maybe 20 minutes I had. But still, he was speaking with so much of concern and, wanted to communicate something. So they have done a thorough study actually. Not that they have not read this verse or something. Yes, next.
Street crossing, there were bunches of fruits and flowers, as well as pillars of banana trees and betel nut branches.
वापस आ चलो अच्छा है अपना experience is authentic. That's good.
All these combined decorations everywhere looked very attractive.
Hari bol. Good. Fruits and flowers. Without any foam. Right? Foam nahi hai. Banana trees and betel nut. So banana trees also. So we could see this. Lot of things were seen in our recent Pahandi Vijay. Na? You saw the sprinkling and everything. Some of you might have walked, na? Jagannath, everything. All these things were happening there practically. Very beautiful. And the Matajis are making the rangoli with flowers. Then when Balram goes back, again they will make. Such amazing actually. Very special. Yes, what is that? Next. As the king entered the gate.
As the king entered the gate of the city, all the citizens received him with many auspicious articles like lamps, flour, and yogurt. The king was also received by many beautiful unmarried girls whose bodies were bedecked with various ornaments, especially with earrings which collided with one another.
Yes. Especially earring, which collided with one another. It's like this. Or it might be quite big here. Means they were dancing or they were moving hither, thither. So this was also there actually this time in the temple hall. The young girl, this was the first offering for Jagannath or Baldev Subhadra. They were dancing actually for pleasure of Jagannath, Baldev Subhadra. Sudarshan.
Current days also in Jagannath Puri, before Rath Yatra start, they have that dance.
Kumarikas are the pure ladies. Kumarikas means young Matajis. So Prabhupada, the whole purport is about that only, I think. It is about what is the word used? He uses. What is the word for them? कन्या, लेकिन कुछ एडजेक्टिव भी है ना उसके लिए. फिफ्थ वर्स ना. फोर्थ वर्स. प्रजास्तम दीपि बलिभिः संभृत शेषम अभिर्युष्टम मृष्ट कन्या. हाँ, मृष्ट. मृष्ट कथा होता है ना. मदाश्रया कथा मृष्टा शृण्वन्ति कथयन्ति च तपन्ति विविधस्तापा नैतान मदगत चेतस. प्योर कथा, not any katha, pure katha. So mrushta kanya means pure girls. That's why. So whole what Prabhupada mentions, even in Hindu society, the most conservative families do not allow unmarried girls to go out freely and mix with the boys. Right? So that was, they were living like that in Antarvadi always. But such thing is happening, what they are in public. That's what he's saying. Otherwise, they will be inside only. They will never go alone, neither go without any reason. Kumari means unmarried girls, untouched by the hand of any member of the opposite sex, are auspicious members of society. Can you imagine? Auspicious members of society they are. Even today in Hindu society, they are very carefully protected by their parents while unmarried. And after marriage, they are protected by husband. So this is all the time Prabhupada thinks. So this free mixing is the biggest problem of all problems. Co-education, co-working, and co-going into hell. That's all. That's what happens. That's why I see how Radheshampu is amazing. Even in West, whether he is trying to preach to both, but we will have different program, different stay arrangement, nothing mix. Even same standard is following where? In the West. Because all source of all problem is this. So Prabhupada is saying, he is following in West, can you imagine? Because fire, butter, whosoever you are, fire and butter.
Living relations started.
What can be talked? That's why 50% of Prabhupada's desire is not here. You have to create that culture. Na? You have to create culture of people who live in a cultured society. सभ्यता, जहाँ पर सभ्य लोग रहते. नहीं तो भक्त लोग, सभ्य लोग, मतलब है वो सभ्य devotees, but they work, they interact with all kinds of Shanda, Amarka and that kind of things. हिरण्यकशिपु, उनका वो मूवी में कैसे दिखाया है ना उनका, the associates of Prahlad Maharaj, you see how they are. They have some teeth, that kind of. So now they are more dangerous than current actually, but we don't see them, that kind of teeth. And वो Radheshampu was telling that Prahlad Maharaj कुछ तो बोलते हैं उनको, then they say, अरे आपने कभी नॉनवेज नहीं खाया, like that in that movie. I have not seen, but he was telling. So such kind of people were there with him, whom he was preaching to. They were saying, अरे आपने खाया नहीं नॉनवेज, blood. But he was innocent, he was not affected. But he was Prahlad, na? He could deal with it. Not get affected also. Yeah, read ahead.
When the king entered the palace, conch shell and kettle drums were sounded. Priests chanted Vedic mantras, and the professional reciters offered different prayers. But in spite of all this ceremony to welcome him, the king was not the least bit affected.
Yeah. So this is the quality of Prithu Maharaj. What is that? Stuyamano gatasmaya. So today also we heard about this word, right? Which word in this? Stuyamano gatasmaya. Hmm? Smaya word. Yeah. Ah. Dhvamsanas nija jana smaya dhvamsanasmitam. That's Maya Garva. But he was glorified, worshipped. Can you imagine? But he was not at all proud. Ocean of humility. Prashraya Abdi. So Shukdev Goswami is specifically telling how he is receiving all this respect, worship, and glorification. All are happening on all levels. Right? So Vishesha Bhavanam Veera. So that is the point. Shankha Dumdubi Ghoshe. Actually, we can't even imagine this. Someone gets respect, what he will think. So this statement we didn't dwell upon. See, when thus protected, woman as a class remain in always auspicious source of energy to man. So actually this principle is spoken at many places in Bhagavatam. Even Privat Maharaj did so much. Why? Because he had a very chaste wife, Barhishmati. And she would, when he will come from exploits and all, she will give him very wonderful interaction. By which, and she was decorating herself very nicely for him only. And by that it is said that he was getting great strength to do what he was doing. That's why we see that Kaikeyi cope chamber, why Dashrath went there? Not out of lust at all. No question of that. It is their shelter actually. And that shelter is also not like material to say, so to say, for Dashrath Maharaj. Or for any person in this world, if he has to act like this, he needs such things so that he can balance out. For us, we don't need that. Because are we doing, actually, Kshatriya job is like that. Punishing, rewarding, dealing with issues, chastising someone, it's like not very pleasant all the time. But when it comes to home, then he gets peaceful. So it is written, our Prabhu was explaining so graphically recently. What is our Prabhu's name? Rasik, some Rasik Prabhu, Sham Rasik Prabhu. Shriman Sham Rasik Prabhu was explaining very amazing actually, amazing absorption it was. So he was telling that Dashrath Maharaj was taking shelter of embrace of Kaikeyi. Actually. So it is not to be seen like the way we think generally. It's a different shelter they get for doing their duty. And it's there is no problem there. There is nothing, no problem there. Right? So that's what this is. So what is man missing is that one. Currently. Currently they are going इधर उधर सब कर रहे हैं लेकिन कुछ स्ट्रेंथ नहीं. स्ट्रेंथ नहीं मिल रहा है, स्ट्रेंथ जा रहा है, उल्टा हो रहा है. कैमल मतलब क्या है? स्ट्रेंथ जाता है. Camel means what? He loses his own semen only. Right? So, but he gets strength, source of energy for man. But what kind of woman who are chaste? That's what today. What a brilliant point he told, na? About chaste woman. What did he say about chaste woman? The beginning, the parallels of mothers. What he said about chaste woman? Since it is topic, that's why we are talking.
Chaste woman is happy that his child is advancing in spiritual life, going closer to Krishna. Means he was explaining that although her son is getting about to die, but since he heard the Bhagavatam from Shukdev Goswami's mouth, she was very happy.
Correct. So that consciousness, her feeling towards child was very not like lamenting, like who is that? Kritadyuti or
Kritadyuti.
Gandhari.
Yes.
Right? So that is perfect. But what about, especially about chastity, he said?
He knows the chastity of Draupadi Mata. So when
Uttara. And Draupadi also. Yeah,
Draupadi.
Draupadi also she knows. Yes, yes. And she can understand the pain of Draupadi. Who can understand pain of Draupadi? Who is like Draupadi? Who can understand pain of Draupadi? But still, out of the parental affection for Duryodhan, she was blinded. And what she did? She cursed the Supreme Lord. So power of chastity was there, but power of devotion was not there. But of course, Gandhari, if we offend, 100% will fall down. Because a brahmachari should remember 5 women every day. You know that shloka, right? 5 women, 5 women brahmachari should meditate. No problem. Yeah, there is one verse like that. I will have to see exactly, but let us try. Gandhari, Sita, Mandodari, Tara is also there. Tara. So, like that shloka is there. That shloka only says, because chastity is the power of woman. So they can understand their power. That's why we say, na, pure person he doesn't have any fear. Like that chaste woman has no fear. No fear. So how much she can empower a husband. So that is the power. So this is what actually Prabhupada says in first canto, that chastity of society is maintained when women are protected. Can you imagine the word? Chastity, he uses this word. Chastity of society will be maintained if there are women are protected. So Brahmanical culture means this 5 things. Brahmanas are protected, women are protected, cows are protected, old people are protected, and children are protected. These 5 things.
Yes. So what can this such kind of woman comes in which category?
Actually,
Bound to
we
be
have to see
fighting.
the big
means-
context. We can comment like this. Fighting is always there, bro. Husband, wife. Here also, fighting, no problem. After fight, what happens? That is important. Fighting
whole
happens
life
is
they
good.
fight.
One person is not suppressing, is expressing. So fighting is not a problem as long as they have not taken divorce. No problem. Because it is natural. 24/7 you are there with the person. We can't imagine actually to share a bed with a person is so intimate. मतलब highest level of intimacy that is. तो उधर बहुत क्लोजली दिखता है आपको जो भी है. तो उधर फाइट होना कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं, लेकिन उसके बाद क्या होता है? वो साथ में है क्या जो आप सोच रहे हो, जो देखा है? साथ में रहते हैं क्या वो?
मतलब वो धर्म में साथ देना चाहिए. ऐसे that can be a criteria. Means if the wife is not supporting a devotional service of the husband, and she is saying to don't go so frequently to temple or like that. So this is such category.
So that is another seminar which Radhesham give on Sunday. Actually, both have their duties, bro. We can't criticize anyone. Can't criticize. We have to see case to case. Just as Prithu has to do protect and he has to do bhakti, right? Same thing is that. That husband has to do the needs of wife and he should do bhakti. He can't say bhakt के लिए मैं जा रहा हूँ. तो ब्रह्मचारी बनो ना, शादी क्यों किया फिर? ब्रह्मचारी बनो, जो है ना, आ जाओ आश्रम में. ड्यूटी करना है ब्रो. ट्रांसेंडेंटल नहीं है ना हम लोग, इसलिए तो शादी किया. नहीं तो ब्रह्मचारी आश्रम ज्वाइन क्यों किया हमने? क्योंकि हम कंडीशनड है, करेक्ट? तो जो ड्यूटी वो करना पड़ेगा. ड्यूटी इज द ब्यूटी. Duty leads to purification. However you look, we have to understand and digest the beauty of the duty. That's what he was saying, na, 3 principles. In that duty is there, second one. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya, Chittati Karyaik. That is the duty. Wherever you are, whichever place you are, that's the core principle. That is followed and you do a lot of things, not much use. You got the verse, huh? Read the verse. We'll repeat after you. We are all brahmacharis, so we can repeat. Ahilya Draupadi Sita Tara Mandodari Tatha Panchakanya Smarit Nityam Mahapatak Nash. Very powerful. What is the reference of it? Panchakanya Smarit Nityam Mahapatak Nashanam. Ahilya Mandodari Sita Draupadi Ahilya Draupadi Sita Tara Mandodari Yatha Panchakanya Smarit Nityam Mahapataka Nasham. What is the reference? No problem. Because I heard from some Maharaj or something this.
So how come Kunti is not here in this?
That's why I asked for reference. You can ask the person who wrote the book. Or purport to the verse. So many chaste ladies are remaining. Anasuya is also not there. So like that, like 12 Mahajans, why not Prabhupada is not there? Prabhupada, you are also Mahajan. So okay, you are also Mahajan. No problem. So that way, we don't know, Prabhu, but this is the principle that there are many chaste ladies. So whosoever has written, maybe they were more relevant, more known. That's why he put those 5 names. Maybe. Commonly said. Made by? Oh, really? Really? It's good to inquire. Because I heard from some ISKCON devotee or sannyasi, I don't. Huh? Different AI is saying different. That's why AI is a problem. We have to ask a person. Hari bol. Let us recite that verse. Ahilya Draupadi Kunti Tara Mandodari Tatha Panchakanya Smare Nityam Mahapataka Nachanam, and number is given. Huh? But what Purani? Padma Purana. Brahma Purana. So this is a problem with AI, Prabhu. Sometimes, yesterday Bhagavad Gita was saying, he says some reference, I go and say it's not there. So anyway, forget it. But I think it will have some element of truth, surely. So here, most important point is, the most difficult thing in this world is to digest respect and worship. If we can digest, then we leave third verse of Shishashtaka. Amanena manadena. That's why that is the most difficult. Humility, first one. Not I should not use the word humility. English is a very not very best language to express the emotions. So first is what? Trinadavi Sunichen. So that Sunichita. And second one is Taro Sahishnuta and Manadena and Amanena. So they are increasing level of difficulty in consciousness. So that's why the prestige, the stool of Vishtha, like that Sanatana Goswami, very difficult. Gross sex, those who give up gross sex, they delight in subtle sex. So better you give up that and get married, Means I'm just joking just to say. Yes, most difficult. That's what is not there in it. What sannyasi? Anyone. Most difficult to digest, na? That's why one great soul said to his disciples that why you are getting into all this trouble. Or our Parampuja Jayadvaita Maharaj was saying in Brahmachari class here that be happy Brahmacharis. Once you take sannyas, everyone will look at you with binocular. And you go for chanting, 10 people will sit in circle. It's all big problem. Means here, I don't know, you heard all these things or no? Here, what a class you should hear. That class is out of the world brahmachari class. In all these years, Sir Lakshan Prabhu asked a question, and I am eternally grateful for that question. In that answer, then he started telling amazing things. So you can hear that class of Param Pujya Jayadvait Maharaj. It was such enlivening class, such faith giving, such inspiring. Maybe you just check how many times Jayadvait Maharaj you remember. I don't remember the year, maybe I have to see the notes. Last visit, but so inspiring. Actually, so many senior devotees asked question and they got so much of strength by the answer. I am there with you. Like that, Maharaj gave a hand to him. You know, one of the devotees. Amazing it was. So you can hear and share with me something. This really nice class. Brahmachari. So there he was telling that it's he just walked, 10 people will fall flat. You have to reciprocate with them. So I am telling two gross things, but point is the fact. To digest and be Krishna conscious. Why to enter? You be happy and preach. Do you have less service? Uh, if you have less service of preaching, I'll give you more preaching, no problem. Why to take sannyas? No, like because what is the purpose of sannyas? Preaching. That's how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave sannyas. The purpose of sannyas is not the dress. Purpose of sannyas is to preach. So preaching is been done. If Guru is happy with that, why we should think about it? If he wants, take it. If he doesn't want, don't take. What's the problem? But Josh, don't just think it about position, but disposition. Don't think about what facilities, but what consciousness. That is what is in Bhagavatam. So the reception given to the king was full of opulence, yet he did not become proud. It is said, therefore, that great personalities of power and opulence never become proud. Example is given, tree laden fruits, does not stand erect, but bends downwards. This is a sign of a wonderful character of great personalities. So that's why it's a very powerful thing. Can you imagine Prabhupada is writing this purport? And I don't know, recently I saw some video, so many garlands are there in Prabhupada's, like this much is garland. But what is his conscience? This is his conscience. It's not at all proud. No tinge of pride. Pride means we are not practicing devotional service properly. Because yana sthaya naro rajan na pramadyeta karihi chit. Dhavan nimilyavan etre na skhalet na patediha. So pride is the grossest anartha according to Bhaktivedanta Thakur. Grossest. Can you imagine? Envy and pride. So where it starts? Tattva Vibram. 4 types of Tattva Vibram. Swa, Para, Sadhana, Sadhya Vibram. Because of Tattva Vibram, one is what? Asat Trishna. Bhakti, Mukti, Siddhi, Swarga. Because of that, what happens? What happens because of Asat Trishna? You must have heard these things, right? Tattva Vibram leads to Asat Trishna because we don't know what to hanker for. Even we are attracted, we don't hanker. Right? Hankering is different than getting allured. Hankering. Asat Trishna is hankering. So, what it leads to? When one is Asat Trishna and one wants respect, that is afterwards. After this, what is? That is most dangerous thing actually. No, that third thing is the most dangerous. What is the most dangerous thing in bhakti? Yes. Aparad happens. Aparad is because of that. 4 types of aparad. Jeev aparad, Seva aparad, Nam aparad, Vaishnava aparad. Vaishnava aparad is most dangerous in them. Because of this, the 4th thing what you said, what it is called, all 4 are called what? So Tattva Vibram, Asat Trishna, Aparad, What happens because of aparad? As you said, kutinati, tuchhasakti, and envy and pride, matsara and apratishthata, something like that. So this all four are called what? So what is meaning of that? Weakness of heart. So aparad affects heart. So that's very dangerous. And envy and pride are at the bottom. If this is there, means all previous are there. As simple as that. Because it's a fruit. जो दिखता है जो तना है वो सब नहीं दिखता. Envy and pride. That's why envy we discussed yesterday or day before. That grosses tana. So very important when it comes. That's why Parikshit is called by Shukdev as Parantapa. In the episode of when the Gopas are sent by Krishna, please go to beg to this Yajnik Brahmanas. And they come back. So
Revise, who has explained it very
this
nicely.
is Bhajan Rahasya.
Means Radhesham Prabhu explained this, means which
Actually, what most heart-touching for me was that lecture only which I said to you yesterday. Maybe I'll forward that. What is that?
Sri Gamo.
Param Pujya Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj. Deadly disease of envy and its cure. Part
Okay,
1
yeah.
and part 2. 1.5 hour, 1.5 hour.
Acha, oh.
That lecture, this is there. How much is not elaborately explained. One Vyas Puja lecture, Param Pujya Chandramouli Maharaj explained it in Ujjain. When he gave initiations there, I was there in Ujjain. So he was telling. But in an answer to a question. But this one you can hear. Very
This is this Madhurya Kadambani lecture series who has properly explained. Just I am asking so that we can.
I myself have not. Bhaktivedanta Maharaj is one I have heard. And I was deeply inspired. Not just myself. In ILS he spoke. No? So every devotee was like, amazing. Because he spoke Madhurya Kadambani.
Okay.
Actually, someone who is a dead cadre, like Guru Sannyasi GBC, the best person to hear. He has seen everything, he has heard everything, he has dealt with all disciples and everything. So this is one thing which I heard. That's all. One option for you. You can choose. Deadly disease of envy and cure. That is Param Pujya Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj. You can get it on our Sudarshan. Sudarshan aap mein milo us. You heard it, huh? Eye opening. When I heard that, I was feeling, अरे ये 10 साल पहले क्यों नहीं सुनाया? बहुत बड़ा problem. Our value system has to be proper. Like today only, I had a question that Prabhu, my spiritual master and all spiritual masters are telling the principle so many times. But I don't take it seriously. Why? What is the reason? I am taking so many other things seriously in Krishna consciousness. Spreading, doing big things. But where is humility? Why I am not following? I heard so many devotees. Why I didn't take this quality seriously? That was my question. Why? What is the problem? That's what, is it, I don't know how many of you have heard this. I wanted to ask that only to Radhesham Bhuvan. Because it seems that Radhesham asked once to Radhanand Maharaj, his Guru Maharaj, that why you are telling this third verse again and again. So Maharaj told him that what to do. No one is following that. I want to tell the 8th verse. So ऐसा मैंने सुना है. लेकिन आप में से किसी ने सुना है क्या ये? आपने भी सुना है. तो वो मैं आप पूछने ही वाला था कि एग्जैक्ट क्या बात हुआ आपका बता दो ना. मतलब क्या है ना, person who has dealt has all the details of it. But that's what he said. So why we are not taking this seriously? Because that is the entry to Vrindavan. Why we are taking everything else seriously, which is also has to be taken seriously. It's not that oh छोड़ दो उसको. नहीं, वो दोनों है ना, एंड गेट है ना अपना, और गेट तो नहीं है. ये करो नहीं तो ये, ऐसा तो नहीं अपना. ये भी करो, लेकिन वही को इंद्र को क्या बोला उन्होंने? गम्यताम शक्र भद्रम वो क्रियताम में अनुशासनम स्थियताम स्वाधिकारेषु एंड स्तंभ वर्जिता. तो स्तंभ वर्जित छोड़ के बैठ गया उधर. तो क्या हुआ फिर? अपराध हुआ, तो कृष्ण से फाइट किया। इधर अभी कृष्ण तो फाइट को लेने आएंगे, भक्त से फाइट करेंगे हम। मैंने किया है ना, खुद वही खुद बता रहा हूँ। इधर एक ड्यूटी बैठा हुआ है, उनको बहुत तकलीफ दिया मैंने। गोवर्धन में, इसलिए अपराध कर बैठा, अभी गोवर्धन से जगह चला गया। गोवर्धन। सो why we are not taking this value seriously? That is the question, but I don't know. At least when we come to know. So great personalities. So never become proud. So that's what why I was telling that. Yana sthaya naro rajan na pramadyata karihichi. Dhavan nimilleva netre na phales patidiya. So one who has implicit faith on the path of pure devotion will never become inattentive or never become proud. Na pramadyata means what? He will never become proud or inattentive. Both words are there. And he can walk on the path by closed eyes. So that's why a great person will never become proud. Example is given. This is sign of wonderful character of great personality. And same quality, if you remember, it was glorified by Prabhupada in the purport, very nice purport, when he is being praised. If you remember what Prabhupada writes there, when the bards are praising him, and he replies there, right? And in reply, he is speaking somewhat strong, little strong words also, but he's smiling also, right? So Prabhupada says something there. Remember, it's not there in this book, but same quality of the same personality, he says. So we should see that actually. Yeah, first chapter means first in the sense bards are praising. Now, what is that chapter? Story here, right? Or in the beginning of this chapter, I am not sure. At the end of that chapter or beginning of.
Praise of King Prutu by professional reciters.
So what is the statement? Yeah, see, this is what. आपको दूसरा दिख रहा है. This is 4:16:1. First verse he is writing. So rather, reciters like Sut Magada are confidentially aware that King Pruthu was an incarnation of Lord. Although King denied such praise. So see, he was denying the praise. So now he accepted the praise. You see? You see the contrast. Because he has done something, so he is accepting it now. But there he denied. He was not at that time exhibiting his godly qualities. The reciter did not stop praising him. Rather, they were pleased with the king, who, although actually incarnation of God, was so humble and delightful in his dealings with devotees. In this connection, we may note previously 4:15:21, it was mentioned that King Pruthu was smiling and was in a pleasant mood while speaking to the reciters. Thus, we have to learn from the Lord or his incarnation how to become gentle and humble. The king's behavior was very pleasing to the reciters, and consequently, the reciters continued their praise, even foretold the king's future activities as they had been instructed by the sadhus and the sages. So, this is what is Prabhupada is telling us. The same point basically here and there. Both places, same thing is happening. One place he rejected in a very nice way, other place he accepted in a nice way. There was no difference in him. And same thing Prabhuji was also saying in the class. What was that? No, not that. Like, what was, anyone remembers? In this time and this time, both time the person is the same only. What was that? Regarding Prabhupada or Parikshit? Means basically now he is rejecting with humility, is accepting with humility. Gentle, humble, both times he is. So it's not about what is happening, it's about what is inside. That's the point. Right? So that's why Bhagavatam is Amal Puran, because it is revealing the heart of the great souls, heart of the pure devotees. So Prabhupada is saying we have to learn from the Lord and his incarnation how to become gentle and humble. So Krishna is accepting Agra Puja, but it is written, he became affectionately angry. And he's saying, don't do. But Yudhishthir is doing it. And he has tears in his eyes. And there is what is happening there? Great exchange of love is happening. That is genuine. Even Krishna is not very conveniently accepting that. That's why you will hear, or you might have heard also, that the greatest or one of the most difficult austerities for all spiritual masters is their Vyas Puja. That they have to accept all that. So this statement I have heard from my Guru Maharaj. Big austerity. But it is coming out of affection, so it is very touching to the heart. But it's austerity for them. So Delhi kitna dur hai, samjho apna. Someone glorifies us, we feel so nice. That is their austerity. That's what Prithu Maharaj, Gatasmaya. This is sign of wonderful character of great personalities. Sheela. Character means Sheela. Sheela Yantrita. This is Prithu Maharaj. Pujita. Now his reciprocation, you see. So he accepted it. Now reciprocation. Pujita pujayamasa tatra tatra mahashayah pauranjana jana padam stamtan priya priya vara pradaha.
Both the important citizens and the common citizens welcomed the king very heartily, and he also bestowed upon them their desired blessings.
Yeah. So he reciprocated. Yatha. So a responsible king is always approachable by citizens. So he's available, accessible, approachable. Not that you can't approach. There might be some system of approach, but approachability has to be there. There is that in Ramayana, one dog wanted to meet. So Lord takes dog in house. Actually, dogs are not taken inside the house in cultured society. But this dog was taken inside because he had some grievance of law. Then that whole thing is there. And dog said, I was hurt by a Brahmana. Then whole story is there. And give him punishment to become a Mathadish. Then he was given punishment and he went. Then Lord or someone asked him, why you are saying like that? He said, I was also like that. I was also Mathadish. Huh? Yeah, offense. So that's the problem. Possessions, they take one's consciousness away from this upadhi, doesn't allow us to enter the real upadhi. Or it distracts us from that. Yeah. Read
King
the
Prithu
translation.
was greater than the greatest soul and was therefore worshipable by everyone. He performed many glorious activities in ruling over the surface of the world and was always magnanimous. After achieving such great success and a reputation which spread throughout the universe, he at last obtained the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah. So what do you think this verse is? He's telling, yeah, Sa eva, very beautiful verse it is. Sa evamadin ananya. Sa evamadin anavadya cheshtitam karmani bhuyamsi mahan mahattamah kurvan shashashvani mandalam yashah sphitam nidhaya ruruhe parampadam. So he went back to Godhead. हरि बोल. मतलब क्या हो गया इधर अभी? स्टोरी खत्म हो गया. So what will happen? Vidura will Hari bol. I want to know more. That's what Vidura is going to say. I want to hear more about Prithu Maharaj. That's next verse is Suta Uvaj. Immediately Vidura says, wait, I want to know more activities of Prithu. So similar thing is there in 10th canto also, right? पूतना वध का फलश्रुति जैसा लगता है ना. तो परीक्षित said, no, 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 no. I want to hear more. He thought that अरे wind up खत्म हो गया. और चाहिए. So here amazing words are there. Mahan Mahattamaha. Like Akhila Purushottam was there earlier. So here Mahan Mahattam. So Prabhupada writes purport on that. One whole paragraph is on. There are different types of great personalities. So Mahattam means what? Mahato में highest, right? Mahan में highest Mahattam. Mahattar and Mahat. Mahat, Mahattar, Mahattam. And in among Mahattam, Mahan Mahat. That is Pruthu. So he explains what all those. And first part is about what is the duty of king. Anavadya cheshtitam means what? Faultless activities. So faultless activities means his duties. Duties is to perform yajna, to engage people according to their varnashrama, and to protect them. All that, giving them food. That is the first. So here, the whole point is Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyam Adhikari, Uttam Adhikari. That's what he says. That is the first part. And second part is the same part. Prabhupada punches on Mayavadis. Actually, when now we can understand why Prabhupada writes this. So same thing Prabhupada is writing here. That anyone who merges Brahman will fall back again. Aruyya Krishna Parampadam Tata. That's what he quotes. So many places. Whenever he gets chance, he quotes this. So this is his displeasure towards Mayavadis actually. That's why he writes. Whenever he gets chance, he will write this. But here it's an important context. So Mahat means he is already pure. He has nothing to do with material world. Mahat. Mahat or Mahattam. So they have Shuddha. So there is Ashuddha Buddhi, there is Shuddha Buddhi. But there is Vishuddha Buddhi. Right? Vishuddha means what? Vishesh Shuddha. But these people are called what? Ye Anya Arvindaksha Vimukta Maninas Tvai Asta Bhavat Vishuddha. Means they are very high. They are already Shuddha. But they are not Vishuddha. Now, otherwise they would have called Ashuddha. Na? Avishuddha means what? Means they are already Shuddha. But they are not Vishesh Shuddha. They have some disrespect towards the lotus feet of Lord. They don't want anything of this material world. That is Shuddha. Vishuddha, so Avishuddha. So Prabhupada writes that one. Avishuddha Buddhaya. Their intelligence is. So Param Padam Vaikuntha planets can be achieved only by Bhakti. The impersonal Brahman region is also called Parabrahman. Unless one is attached to personality of Godhead, he must fall down again to material platform. Because of Avishuddha Buddhi. So they are Shuddha. So they deserve that much respect. Right? Shuddha is there. So that's what gradation. Yeah. Further. So now he is asking a question. Tadadirajasya yasho vijrumbitam gunairasheshair gunavatsabhajitam kshatta mahabhagavatah sadaspati kaushara vimpraha ganantamarchayan.
Sud Goswami continued, O son Shaunaka, leader of the great sages, after hearing Maitreya speak about the various activities of King Prithu, the original king, who was fully qualified, glorified, and widely praised all over the world, Vidura, the great devotee, very submissively worshipped Maitreya Rishi and asked him the following question.
Yeah. So this is the way he inquired. He wanted to hear more. But here Maitreya Muni, what he is doing, he is showing the spirit of the inquiry, how much respect he has for how Vidura is inquiring, you see. That he worshipped actually. Archayan Kausharavam Praha. After worshipping, he asked a question. So that is the respect which he is offering to our Maitreya Muni. So it's 12:30 onwards, so we can take a break now. 15 minutes, then we'll refresh and go ahead. Hare Krishna. Go ahead. करेंगे, चालू करें। हाँ, खोल दो फिर। हाँ, वो उड़ जाएंगे तो खोल देंगे उसके लिए उन्होंने। हाँ, स्टार्ट ना। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरि बोल। So text 8, right? That's what we read. तदाजिराजस्य यशो विजृंभिषं गुणैर अशेष गुणवस् सभाजितम् शत्ता महाभागवत सदस्पते कौशारविं प्राह गणम गणंतम अर्चयन. So actually, anytime in Bhagavatam, if you see how they are hearing and how they are inquiring, we will understand what is the culture of a samvad. Culture of samvad is not focused on getting some information or something new or something deep or whatever it is. It is more of very eager to hear about and get mercy from the speaker. Means here, that's how every time when there is a question, there is a great respect which is offered. Almost like Archayan is saying, Sadaspate, Kausharavim Archayan. You see, same Parikshit is inquiring, anyone is inquiring, you can see. That is the way to inquire, actually. Hmm? Sometimes they express what they heard till now and then they ask. So it depends on the question. Hmm? Hmm? So that's very important. Hmm? So that's why what is the purpose of this verse? See, what is going on? Talk between, means now Sukdev Goswami is speaking to Parikshit, right? And this whole thing is under which loop it is? Sut Goswami to Shaunakadi Rishi. And that is in which loop? Maitreya and Vidura. So now Maitreya Vidura Samvad is going on now. Why Sutta Uvacha is required in between? To tell that how they are to go into heart of the inquirer or the speaker. After question, you will see this. And after something ends and ask that, you will see that the speaker became very happy to hear the question. So now that speaker Maitreya cannot say that I am, means of course sometimes they say also, but sometimes the Sandhi verse is telling, one who is narrating tells what is the face of Maitreya Muni. Hmm? What is the mood of Vidura? Hmm? That is told by Sut Goswami. It's called Sandhi verse. There the culture is coming in, by which we can receive Krishna, actually. That cultured samvad. Samvad is heart to heart talk. It is not vad, it is not jalpa, it is not vitanda. It is samvad, heart to heart talk. None of them are in hurry. None of them want to prove each other. None of them are challenging. There is a very right disposition, especially of the speaker. Sometimes the hearer might ask in a different tone also. But speaker is supposed to be elevated. That's why he's on elevated seat, right? But not necessary. Like today we can see. I was feeling like Bhagavatam happening, like Sut Goswami is there, and Narada is there, and Ved Vyas are sitting, right? And they are also relishing. So today also you see Gaurang Darshan Prabhu is sitting, and Radhesham Prabhu and Vrindavan Prabhu. Both are sitting and hearing and relishing. Right? So actually, it's not about we are hearing Krishna Katha. Either we are speaking or hearing. That's not much difference, actually speaking. There's not much difference. So that's what these verses tell actually. These Sandhi verses will come always in Bhagavatam. Always they will come. That's why I told. Vidura uvacha so bhishaktaha prathur viprair labdashesha sauraradha bibratsva vaishnavim tejo bhavor yabham dudohagam. Is some giving summary of what he heard. Yeah, please read. Vidura.
Vidura said, My dear Brahman Maitreya, it is very enlightening to understand that King Prithu was enthroned by the great sages and Brahmanas. All the demigods presented him with innumerable gifts, and he also expanded his influence upon personally receiving strength from Lord Vishnu. Thus, he greatly developed the earth.
Yeah. So practically he summarized all chapters. Right from enthroning, giving gifts, then ruling, all the chapters in one verse. He said, yeah, it's greatly developed earth. So next verse is, I want to hear more. So this purport, Prabhupada writes about king, very nice statement at the end actually. Every executive head, see where it is there? Yeah, please read this portion.
As will be apparent from the next verse, every executive head of state should follow in the footsteps of Maharaj Prithu in ruling over his kingdom. Regardless of whether the chief executive is a king or president, or whether the government is monarchical or democratic, this process is so perfect that if it is followed, everyone will become happy, and thus it will be very easy for all to execute devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
So Prabhupada is writing all how he is dealing with his praja, Prithu. And every executive head should follow footsteps of Prithu when they are serving them, especially addressing them. Because their service begins with proper address, proper expectations, proper mood. What he is expecting, very clearly he is speaking actually, very clear. So everyone should follow, every executive head, whether he is a king or president. So king was that time, right? And president is what? President was there earlier. This president system was not there. Means it is old or new. Monarchy was earlier. Now what is there? Democracy. Or we can add further.
In America, presidential system is there.
Correct.
Like that.
Now, and now here also is there, right? So basically the old system or new system, both should follow the mood of Prithu Maharaj. And he's saying monarchy means that time. And now what is that? Lokshahi. Demon crazy. There also the mood has to be this one. Demon. Or we can add ahead king or president or ISKCON temple president or ISKCON leader or center leader or team head or HOD, or you understand anyone who has praja. And monarchical, democratic, or whatever system it is, if they follow these principles, because they are executive, right? Executive is Kshatriya. They are getting things executed from other people. They should follow these footsteps. In whatever case, don't say that, वो जब पुराना था, अभी का अलग, Gen Z. They are from zoo. But we have to bring them from zoo to human. Being human to being Vaishnava. Then, so we have to respect Gen Z, but raise Gen Z to original culture. Gen Z is not a standard. Although it is existing, so we can make a bridge from Gen Z to human. Then human should be talked about. That's the bridge preaching means. I am not saying don't become irrelevant. You have to be relevant. But when people come, then we have to come to the core practices, core principles. That's why Prabhupada is writing right in the beginning. Now you hear his prayers, not prayers, his talk, the way he's talking, the way he graphically told today, Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj was put forward, what was his feeling and all that, right? So here his leaders, what are his feelings? How he is speaking? What are the qualities of his speech? How he is telling people that you follow duties for my welfare. Not that I am telling you, you should cooperate, That is not the best way to communicate. Right? There is a way of doing. So that's how Prabhupada is very clearly telling what he expects. That this process is perfect. And why Prithu Maharaj we should follow? Why? Because he has come to teach that. Palana Shaktavish avatar. So every avatar has a purpose. That specific purpose he does. So that's why Prabhupada is writing big purpose. Because leader. Process is perfect. If it is followed, everyone will be happy. And thus it will be easy for all to execute bhakti to the Lord. So that's why this is like a disclaimer Prabhupada is telling before the talk. Konvasya kirtim na shrunotyabhigno yadvikramochishtamashesh bhupah lokah sapala upajivanti kama adhyapitanme vadakarma shuddham.
Prithu Maharaj was so great in his activities and magnanimous in his method of ruling that all the kings and demigods on the various planets still follow in his footsteps. Who is there who will not try to hear about his glorious activities? I wish to hear more and more about Prithu Maharaj because his activities are so pious and auspicious.
Yeah. So he is showing his eagerness to hear. So many times this rhetoric is spoken, Konu. Yeah, remember? Who will not do this? Means what? Who doesn't do is a fool. That's the intention. Who will not do? Or yesterday it was there, what is that? Katham gunadnyo virameta vina pashu. Pashu chod ke kaun chodega isko? So Konu, somewhere you have heard this. In first canto it comes. Who will not? That, that katha which cuts, what is that? Exactly, yeah. How it starts? Jnana sin. Yad anudhyasina yukta karma granti nibandhanam chindanti koidastasya konu kuryat katharati. Who is not going to develop this katharuchi? Right? So that is what is the first step before Nam Ruchi, as per what I understand from Srila Prabhupada in the Chetan Charitamrita. Katharuchi. Nivritta, what he told it. Na Pashugna. So there is another Kovaina Seveta Mukunda Vikramam. Like that is beautiful verse is there. Where is that verse? So actually, that's why these are the actually this verse is there. Na? Just now what we recited from first canto. What is that verse? Yad anudhyasina yukta. What is the next verse? What he's quoted today also. The series of verses to progress in bhakti. That's what follows actually. So the verse says that who is that he will not develop rati, right? Konu kuryat katha rati. So what is the next verse? Shushusho Shaddadhanasya. Next, right? What is the connection? Connection is I don't have Katharuchi. How to develop Katharuchi? Because faith on topics of Krishna is the qualification for bhakti. So then Ruchi, first faith. So Shushusho Shaddadhanasya Vasudeva Katharuchi. So how to get that? Do this. Then we'll progress. It's a foundational sadhana. This is the revolutionary verse, sum and substance of ISKCON. Prabhupada writes, okay, here it's not visible. Yat sangalabdham nijavirya vaibhavam tirthasprasham samsprataham himanasam. Okay, sorry. I'm showing differently. This is Prahlad Maharaj prayer in 5th canto. 18th chapter, 11th verse. Next verse is Yasyasti Bhakti, which often is quoted many times. Even today also it was quoted, or yesterday. I think. Yat sangalabdham nijavirya vaibhavam tirthah muhu samsprashatam hi manasam harant ajontas shutibhir gatongajam koina seveta mukunda vikram. Who is not going to serve the pastimes of Lord Mukunda? So how we serve the pastimes of Lord Mukunda? By hearing them, right? And by speaking them. Kovaina seveta. Both are there in that Shravana and Kirtan. What happened? Yat sangalabdham. So this purport, if you see, by actually so big translation. Purport only is there in the translation. So all I'll tell the essence. It is told that hearing from pure devotee about the Lord's exploits, powerful exploits, Nija Virya Vaibhavam. That is actually Tirtha. And what happens in that Tirtha when one drinks that again and again, it touches the mind and it enters to heart. And the disease, Shutibhi Gata Angajam. Angaj is disease. So Krishna purifies the disease. तुझे वो उनको डिस्टर्ब हो रहा है को दो तरह का डिस्टरबेंस है एक मूवमेंट का है एक गर्मी का है कौन सा चूज करना है आपको कौन सा चलेगा वो चूज करो ठीक चलो so here in this purport Prabhupada reveals actually so this is exactly like Satam Prasangat verse but context is different here the power of Lord's pastimes like lifting Govardhan attained by association with devotees is a holy place. Holy place is defined in two conditions. You have a pure devotee and he is telling Govardhan Leela. That place is holy, he is saying. Where it is happening, that is a holy place. What happens there? It's a holy place which purifies even sattva. My Lord. विशुद्ध बोल रहे थे ना हम लोग शुद्ध का विशुद्ध कर सकते हैं Krishna, why it is so? Krishna removes impressions of desire related to the mind of men sipping through the ear of the holy waters of Lord's pastimes heard from the devotees. What an amazing metaphor here. So sipping there. Sometimes the word is used pibati, right? Pibati Bhagavata Rata, that conclusion of the second canto. Concluding verse, 36th verse. Pibanti ye Bhagavata Atmanaha Sata. So pibanti, either sipping is there. They're sipping and drinking. So it's never called hearing. It is called drinking or sipping. Means what? It is not to be done by ears. It is can be done through ears, but by heart, with great interest, anticipation, faith, respect, and enthusiasm. Then it will work. Because then what happens? Krishna personally enters. That's what is told him. And what it removes now? What it removes? Vasana it removes. It is not removing just normal anartha. That which is not removed by anything else will be removed by this. The deeper purification happens by that, which cannot happen otherwise, which can happen only in association of pure devotee. Manasangajam means which disease? Disease of mind. Actually, which our Revati Putipu was talking in Brahmachari class, if you remember here. Yesterday also he was telling that the bad perceptions are there, na? Or our prejudices or wrong, which we are carrying from previous life. हमको पता भी नहीं वो अपना क्या बोलते हैं ना वो अपना एक existence है और हमको लगता है this is what I am. And that's okay, no problem. But we have to know that which is correct, which has a problem, I should give up. तो वो जो स्वभाव से जो आया ना, स्वभाव विजयम शौर्यम. सो स्वभाव चेंज करना एक एक वो है ये मानस अंगजम. दैट इज प्यूरिफाइड. The second meaning is Krishna attracts the mind. How he enters through ears. Who would not hear pastimes of Mukunda such as lifting Govardhan? His pastimes are astounding because of devotee association. They are rarely understood. So this is another side. His pastimes are outstanding because without devotee association, they are rarely understood. Means what? There can be description of Krishna's pastimes. But those who don't understand it, they will narrate in a different way. Or it will be like that yesterday lecture by that Varhapidam verse which was given there. That is the lowermost form of it. Actually, Prabhuji Haldar Maharaj was saying that Bhagavad Artha Aswada, right? So he quotes his Guru Maharaj. He says that devotees don't just narrate pastimes. They tell the essence of pastimes. So rarely understood. That is the point. Govardhan, so many people discuss. What? That's why we have to be careful about our acharyas first. What they are writing. Because do you believe that they are most closest, at least for us? So they have written about some pastimes of 10th canto. So let us speak and delve into details of what they have written. And there are unlimited details are revealed to unlimited people based on what is their rasa and what is their parampara and all that. And there is unlimited. But the essence, if you want, then we have to go to that parampara and hear from it. Because Krishna Katha is sweet only anyway, whatever you tell. So that's why rarely understood. Why Krishna is doing what Krishna is doing. Very rarely understood. And impossible to understand Braj pastimes. This is told in Tava Kathamritam verse. You can go and read Jiva Goswami's commentary. When I read that recently, that time I developed great reverence and respect for our Acharya's commentaries. So what they tell, see what is this verse? Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam Kavibhiriditam Kalmashapaham Ityadi. Very good. So what the word here? Kavibhir iditam means idat means what? Worshipped. Kavi means what? Scholars, very wise people like Brahma and Kumaras. They worship these pastimes. But they can't describe this pastime. They describe what we speak. So what is happening between Krishna and Yashoda? What is happening between Krishna and the gopis? What is happening between Krishna and friends is known only to the Brajvasis. Not anyone else cannot know the intent of why Krishna is doing what he is speaking. What gopis are speaking, what is their intent? Cannot be understood by a person who is not there. cannot be understood only. What is the question of describing them? So, Kavi bhi Riditam means that. So the purport says that our greatest saviors are our friends who tell us your katha. That's why we remain alive. Shravana Mangalam Shrimadadatam Bhuvi Grinantiye Bhuridai. So Bhuridas are Vajvasis. And for us, our Sakhis, they are our Bhurida. So that's why we are living. So, and when the Brajvasis or we speak these pastimes, then they hear and repeat those pastimes while praising it, while worshipping them. Just as how Uddhava is worshipping. You see, the mood of Uddhava is like worship. Right? And that's what question I think I told. Na? Uddhava, why not Uddhava? Why only Shukdev? Shukdev can know the pastimes. We began with that, right? Shukdeva's prediction. Who Krishna is telling that only Shukdev can explain some of it. Some things of this. Right? So that is what is rarely understood. Without that, there is no question of description. So many descriptions can go on, but it is nice, it is purifying, but the purpose is different. So that's why it's very important. So here only Prabhupada very amazing quotes same verse, Shrunvatam Swakata Krishna. Then he says that this heart is purified, right? Riddhantastodi avadani. Material existence is caused by dirty things within mind and all that. So now you read from here. He suddenly shifts from holy name to holy fame. Sorry, holy fame to holy name, right?
Therefore, the great saints in the devotion line very strongly recommend the process of hearing.
So, just a minute. Before this, what is spoken? Holy fame, Harikatha, right? Now he is saying that's why great saints recommend Shravanam. अब हरि कथा हो गया. अभी नेक्स्ट देखो आप क्या बोलते हो.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced the congregational chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra to give everyone a chance to hear Krishna's holy name, or simply by hearing Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, one becomes purified. Therefore, our Krishna consciousness movement is chiefly engaged in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra all over the world.
Correct. So now he shifted his gear to Harikatha. So what is between them? Next paragraph. Amazing this is. Please read it.
After one's mind becomes cleansed by chanting Hare Krishna, one gradually comes to the platform of Krishna consciousness and then reads books like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and the Nectar of Devotion. In this way, one becomes more and more purified of material contamination. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam,
Nashta Prayashu Avat. So what is the Siddhanta spoken here? Yes. Means, yeah, exactly. So, see, holy name can be heard by anyone. Anyone comes, but how many people sit in the class? That requires some faith. Some sukruti is required to hear about Krishna. So, first sukruti is created by the holy name. That's what Prabhupada wanted. Prabhuji also, Radhashampur also saying, I am not going for holy. Go out and distribute the holy name. So, that creates the sukruti. When they will hear enough, what they will say? Kiska naam hai ye? Kya hai? I had one gradually some cleaning happens, first cleaning qualification. Then one comes to the okay, I want to know more about it. So they comes to read books mentioning specifically Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Odi. In this way, what happens? What was done by chanting, now Harikatha along with chanting will purify more. Because he will continue chanting, right? Now he will stand some fixed number of rounds or 16 rounds also, depending on the person. So his chanting continues, but now he gets more purified by both together, actually. More and more purified. That more purification is that vasanas and hearing from pure devotee. And then lastly, Prabhupada says, this is the sum and substance of Krishna consciousness movement. All the great acharyas, last you read.
All the great acharyas strongly recommend that people be given a chance to hear about the Supreme Lord. then success is assured. The more we cleanse the dirt of material attachment from our hearts, the more we will be attracted by Krishna's name, form, qualities, paraphernalia, and activities. This is the sum and substance of the Krishna consciousness movement.
So this statement is very important to be accepted. Sum and substance of our ISKCON is this, that give people chance to hear about Supreme Lord. So hear about Supreme Lord means two things, hearing the holy name and hearing the holy fame. And this is how he wants, right? And what happens by hearing holy fame along with the chanting holy name is eventually that last is there in the 7.73. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, spiritual master. So eventually what one wants to do is become attached to chanting the holy name. Right? So that's what actually our Bibi Bhaktivedanta Bhagavat Maharaj was saying, that it's a sandwich. Right? Sandwich, you understand? Begin with holy name. In between there is holy fame, along with the holy name, of course. Then there is chanting with attachment. So that statement also is, what is that? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, spiritual master, scrutiny. Scrutiny, if you see only one word, Prabhupada is using. See, what he is saying? Lord Chaitanya, spiritual master, instructed him, therefore, that one must read Srimad Bhagavatam regularly and with scrutiny to gradually become attached to the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So goal is what? Attachment to the holy names. That's what he began today. In the beginning morning he was telling. That's the goal. But the goal is like this. So this is sum and substance of our movement. And this where Prabhupada is speaking this now, the verse is, you see, verse is speaking about holy name. Krishna mantra hai behabe samsara mochana. Krishna nama hai te pabe Krishna racha. Is Bhagavatam here? Is there Bhagavatam you see? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Guru spoke about Bhagavatam. He didn't speak in this verse, neither he spoke about Bhagavatam. He just told that you have attained essence of Bhagavatam, that's all. But Prabhupada is writing in the purport and putting the words in the mouth of Ishwar Puri. So that is what is our mission is all about.
Also, in this shloka, two words are mentioned. One is Krishna mantra and then Krishna naam.
Yes.
That is,
So that
is
surely.
it
No, it is. Kaviraj Goswami not just use like that. It has depth. So mantra is like official thing, na? Which is also powerful. Mantra is, I think first is mantra, second is naam. Right? So mantra is something which is given and which is followed. But naam is naam. Maha mantra is naam actually. Om Namo Bhagavata. Generally, yeah.
mantra is Gayatri basically.
We can say Krishna mantra is what, yeah, like what our Gop Kumar was chanting. He was chanting mantra. But Brihad Bhagavatamrut glorifies Naam, I think, eventually. So we'll ask this. You can ask this question. Very nice question. Naam. Because our Gudakesh who is going to come next week for Bhaktivedanta. So he is drowning in Brihad Bhagavatamrut always. He is mad for Brihad Bhagavatamrut. That because it means it glorifies the name so much. So why we need Bhagavatam? To offenselessly chant the holy name. That's all. Simple. We can't understand what is offense when we commit offense unless we see this. That's what Gudakesh was saying. And that makes sense actually. Because it shows na cases of offenses and non-offense. So anyway, Kovaina Seveta Mukunda Vikramam, that's why we went there. So this is the sum and substance of our movement. That's why we should, the message giving, if someone is developing interest in message of Krishna, we have to understand that some purification has happened. And that's a good sign. So for now, what is the verse number? 10. Read the translation. I think we read this, na? Or no? I think we read this verse. No. Konvasya kirtim shutayo. No, this is over, na? 10th is over. 11, na? Correct? Yeah, the koina seveta, that verse was going. Yeah, what was Vidura's purpose of hearing about Krishna, Prithu is set an example for ordinary kings. So Vidura is also has seen all the horrible kings, right? He worked under horrible kings, tolerated them, and still saw Yogamaya helping him. Still, he was well-wisher of Dhritarashtra. Unfortunately, at present moment, no one cares to hear about Prithu Maharaj or follow his footsteps. So we have to follow. Whosoever leader we are, we have someone to take care. We have to follow footsteps of Prithu Maharaj. So whatever is the case. So now the scene is there. Maitreya Uvacha Ganga Yamunayor Nadyor Antarakshetramavasan Arabhaneva Bubuje Bhogan Punya Jihasaya. Now his rule.
The great saintly sage Maitreya told Vidura, "My dear Vidura, King Prithu lived in the tract of land between the two great rivers, Ganges and Yamuna. Because he was very opulent, it appeared that he was enjoying his destined fortune in order to diminish the results of his past pious activities."
Yeah. So here his rule, how he ruled, what was his consciousness. See, when a devotee or he has like king, he has to deal with matters of administration, right? So he has to deal with lot of material energy. So yes, he will get some facilities, he will be having some problems. So how he saw it, Bhogan Punya Jihasaya. Or same concept is there for Prahlad also, if you see same context is there. There Prahlad is told to rule for 36,000 years. I think. There also Lord Narsimhadev is telling him the same thing. Bhogena punyam, kushalena papam. So they have to accept some sense enjoyment or something, but how they accept, that is told here. That it is just my earlier prarabdha is coming, like that. By experiencing that enjoyment, he is thinking that my piety is getting over. And by doing something rightly, he avoids the wrong dukkha. Kushalena papam. Bhogena punyam, kushalena papam. So material life and materialistic life. Very nice. Our Chetan Prabhu spoke on this verse only. You can hear that beautiful class. There can be discussion, but don't have time now. Similar context it is. So Prabhupada writes, devotee is not subjected to reactions of resultant past deeds. For devotees, result of past deeds or impious activities are nullified by the Lord, right? Diksha Kale, that we say, right? Or holy name destroys all. But in case of Prithu Maharaj, there is no question of reaction, right? But that's what he set an example how one should think. So same thing. Pious impiety applies to a normal person. For devotee, both are like same only. There is no difference much for this. Yeah. Please read the translation.
Maharaj Prithu was an unrivaled king and possessed the scepter for ruling all the 7 islands on the surface of the globe. No one could disobey his irrevocable orders but the saintly persons. No one could disobey his irrevocable orders but the saintly persons, the Brahmanas and the descendants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Vaishnavas.
Yeah, so same thing what Gaurang Darshan Prabhu was saying, that the king rules over all others except two kinds of people. Who are they? Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. That is called Brahmanya. Brahmanya means he respects the sages and Brahmanas or devotees. So that is the symptom, that is the He doesn't rule over them because they are already Achyuta Gotra. It will come here only, I think. Yeah. Here only word is there. Achyuta Gotra. So we are told, right? What we are told? Our Gotra is what? Achyut Gotra. But the problem is Achyut Gotra, easy to say, but it's loaded. Loaded too. Anyatra Brahmana Kulad. So actually to be a Vaishnava is a very exalted state. Very, very exalted thing. Because he's beyond Varnashram. That's what is written by Prabhupada in the purport. So he rolled everything. Sarvatra Askhalita Desha. Sapta Dvipak. Actually, Sapta Dvip happened later, I think Jiva Goswami writes, but it is mentioned. Anyatra Brahmana Kula, Anya Achyuta Gotrata. Achyuta Gotrata means devotees and Brahman Kula means Brahmanas. So they didn't rule because they don't need rule. They are naturally ruled by Lord. They naturally follow the Lord's system. That's why rule is required for whom? Those who break the rule or those who go beyond the boundary. That's why, so ideally, so to say, Brahmana or Vaishnava will always be following the Lord's system. Understanding the system, following the system. He cannot not follow the system. So Prabhupada mentions Askhalit. Askhalit indicates, next paragraph, that orders of the king could not be disobeyed by anyone in the entire world. Such orders, however, were never issued to control saintly persons or descendants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. So Achyuta Gotra. So Prabhupada writes about this. So that's why actually the greatest problems or challenges are there in Bhagavatam or in any society is when these two leaders of society have not congenial relationship. You see, Bhagavatam begins like this. Shringi, Parikshit. Or what is Gajendra earlier? Indradumna Maharaj and Agastya Rishi. Or you take Daksha Shiva. Or many episodes because both are leading society. One is head and one is arms. So when they are not connected, then all others have problem. So they should have congenial understanding of each other. That hand cannot work what head does. Head cannot work what hand does. So they are, when head says that I will do the hand also, then they can't do. And their head breaks actually. Because head doesn't know. Yesterday he was telling in class that they can't find out much cheating and all that. Can't rule actually. But a person who is Kshatriya, who is arms, he says, I will only do head job also, I will do a hand job also. No, you will break your hand or you will break others' hand because you are not able to see. You are active. That's very good. But we have direction. Direction is given. That's why they are interdependent. These two leaders. So that was Vedic society, and that's what should Prabhupada wanted here. That's why actually, if you see, originally Prabhupada wanted GBCs were mostly, he wanted sannyasis to travel and preach. And Grihastha should do more of administration. But there is no one to do that. So sannyasis have to do. Because when, as recently Maharaj came, na, Param Pujya Prabodhanand Saraswati Maharaj, he was clearly telling who takes sannyas, right? One has to come to the Brahmanical platform to take sannyas. Otherwise, there is no question of it. Because that's not what they are supposed to do. And then this is actually, this verse is very, very important, which never we much, it's a very deep verse actually. You can go back and see. Arche Vishnu Shila Dhir. So all the wrong buddhis are told. Generally we take only Vaishnava Jati Buddhi, but everything is told actually. It's amazing verse it is. Arche Vishnu Shila Dhi. Guru Shu Naramati. Vaishnava Jati Buddhi. So Guru and Vaishnavas are separately told. Guru you think to be ordinary person. And Vaishnavas you think to be this caste, that caste. Vishnor va Vaishnavanam Kalimala Mathane Pada Tirthe Ambu Buddhi. their Charanamrut, Vishnu Charanamrut or pure devotee, Vaishnava Charanamrut, water buddhi, Salil. Shri Vishnu or Namni Mantri Sakala Kalusha He Shabda Samanya Buddhi. So holy name of Krishna we think to be a Akshara. Then Akshara means then there is Namakshara hai, Nam nahi hai. So Nam, when we say Nam, it is not actually it's a calling. It's not chanting that as well our now he is going to come. Actually such amazing. Now we are hearing Gaurang Darshan Prabhu, then Gudakesh Prabhu will come, and then Vishwarup Prabhu will come. In Balram Jayanti. So he always says, na pukaro. Bolo mat. Pukarna means different, calling it is. So Samanya Buddhi, Shabda. Vishnu Sarveshwareshe Tad Itara Samadhir Yasya Va. So I think this is Tadiya. Tad Itara Samadhir. Vishnu, who is Sarveshwareshwar, you consider him to be other devata. So these all buddhis are Naraki. So these all are there in one verse only. Yeah, 13. Please read translation. Now it's just setting the scene for instructions. Yeah.
Once upon a time, King Prithu initiated the performance of a very great sacrifice in which great saintly sages, brahmanas, demigods from higher planetary systems, and great saintly kings known as Rajarishis all assembled together.
Yeah. So you see who is there, not just Praja. Who all are there? So many people are there. Demigods are there. So he's addressing all of them. How amazingly he speaks, you can see. Actually, that's why what happens in Bhagavatam class is extremely glorious. Because all great souls are there together. So can you imagine the holiness of the place? And when all GBCs are there here, that place is the holiest of the holiest of the holy place in the entire 14 worlds. Because that one person is Tirtha. And so many of them are there together. Can you understand the power of that place? Where GBC meeting or many sannyasis, gurus are there. One person is potency to purify one universe actually. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But they are there and sitting and hearing. So how powerful is that sabha? And how powerful will be the discussion? That's why it's good if we get chance, we should not miss such sabha. Because all the cultured things you learn there. What is culture? So sabha. Read 14. Actually, Brahmavarta, I think, he was ruling there. I will have to find out. Brahmavarta came in the previous chapter, no? So he was ruling there. Now suddenly they use this word. Well, I didn't. What is that? You can say asking, you be curious. Don't inquire from AI submissively. But just engage him in Krishna's service. But don't take it too seriously. That way we can. Very careful. Very, very careful. गंगा एंड यमुना के बीच में क्या है? अपना ही सब है ना? पता नहीं. ब्रह्मावत भी बोलते. Read 40.
In that great assembly, Maharaj Prithu, first of all, worshipped all the respectable visitors according to their respective positions. After this, he stood up in the midst of that assembly, and it appeared that the full moon had arisen amongst the stars.
My Lord. So Sukdev Goswami is having that camera now there. What is the setting? And how wonderfully he is glorifying Prithu Maharaj, actually. That he worshipped them yatha yatha, right? Yatha arhata, not over under, according to. And then he took a seat and he was so beautiful and effulgent that they were all stars. So see, this is the glory of Bhagavatam, that everything is glorious. Star is also glory, right? But in that moon is the greatest. So this is glorification of Bhagavatam. So there is no criticism here. But even if criticism is there, that also is to glorify. But their glories are so in this way, a lot of things are communicated without speaking the way generally it is spoken. That moon came among stars. That's why what Prabhupada says, we want to make devotees, but what kind of devotees? Some star moon, he says, no, better, what is that? One moon is better than millions of stars. That's a Tara Sarastasha. That he spoke about devotees, no? Right?
Washing feet of the visitors, it is said that. So sometime in Brahmachari goes house program, so devotees want to wash their feet. So desperately, sometime Brahmachari cannot avoid. So what is your thought about this?
Actually, I offer respects to the place where this culture is there. So, actually, that's what our Vidyapit batch was there, and 2, 3 devotees are from Orissa. So, 15 years they were in military, and then they joined the ashram. Very nice brahmacharis. But it's Bindu Madhav Prabhu and one more devotee is there. So they took us there, all our batch mates, to their village or whatever. My Lord, so they have all the arrangements there. So what to do? So they told them that we don't do like that. So it was not done the way they wanted, but something was done. It was not like the way properly they wanted. So this is the culture actually. So problem is that we don't know it. Even I didn't. First time I went there. So this culture is very important. Have you gone to some outside programs? First portion is just offering the this thing, respecting people actually, right? And initially I used to feel what time pass they are doing. you know, means like materialistic mindset. I'm telling myself I used to think like that. अरे मेन प्रोग्राम चालू करो यार, ये क्या है, शाल श्रीफल एक आके देगा दूसरा आएगा, right? Everyone is given accordingly. You have seen that what I am trying to say. So they will do it in a cultured, because that's the way. First respect should be offered according to the this thing. So there's a culture. Brahmachari should establish this culture and be qualified to digest what is happening. That's what same question was asked by our Sarlakshan Prabhu to Prabhupada Saraswati Maharaj. How many of you were there? Are you are not there in Jagannath festival? You were in bus party. You were also in bus party. What about you? Okay, all your batch was in bus party, na? So Sarvalakshan Prabhu asked. So whole class was on what? Bhakta Pada Dhuli Ara, Bhakta Pada Jal, Bhakta Bhakta Avasheshati Namahabal. And Maharaj narrated that pastime of Jadu Thakur and our Kalidas. And how Kalidas got special mercy. Yeah. And he told a most unique thing that actually Mahaprabhu narrates this story. This is not there in Chaitanya Charitamrita, actually. That because he comes and he drinks water. And no one, Mahaprabhu is not angry. 3 times he is doing, Mahaprabhu says, bas ho gaya, bas. But other times, anyone drinks, Mahaprabhu will fast. That was the standard of Mahaprabhu. But Mahaprabhu accepted Kalidas. Then devotees will have question, na? Then Mahaprabhu narrated that he is not just taking this my water. He has done this for all the Vaishnavas of Maya. So he has received mercy of all the Vaishnavas. And this he told, actually he goes to house, he takes Jagannath Prasad also, and then he tells Govinda, the remnants, give to Kalidas. तो ये बोलते अरे यार स्पेशल अरेंजमेंट हो रहा है कालिदास के लिए. So Kalidas is having that value system. So then he narrated the whole thing. And then question came, actually a real Vaishnava will never accept it, right? And we should never do joking. This has to be done. Maharaj said 3 levels of devotees. It should be done Uttam Adhikari and all that. Right? You have to know. whom to do, whom should receive, Uttamadhikari should receive, and all that. Hmm? And then Sarlakshan Prabhu asked a question that sometimes some people touch our feet. What to do? Hmm? So Maharaj said, actually, Vaishnavas should not do that because permission has to be taken. And he told one pastime of Mayapur or Vrindavan. There was GVC meeting or something. All the Prabhupada disciples sannyasis are sitting. And one devotee came, offered Dandavat Pranam. And he's asking them, please give me your remnants. And anyone gave there? No one gave. There is a way to ask also. Means we don't have to just, I heard today in class I should ask and I go and ask. No, that's not the way. You have to please them. So that's what Narada did. Narada Muni took permission and took. Yes, but not the way this fellow did. Means he tries to please them. Because they know the power of it, na. But when they will give? So this all discussion happened. Then he said actually Vaishnavas will not, they know whom to touch and why to touch and all that. So they should not fight. Sometimes the fight happens. Even Radhesham Prabhu tells that once one devotee got hurt. Actually, that means it's a good friend. I would not say good because it has everything. Every friendliness also should be based on some principle. Once in a while is okay, but we have to be serious. So he was telling that Vaishnava will not do. Then Sarlakshan Prabhu clarified further that sometimes we go in village, then we give program, then they touch our feet. What to do, Maharaj? Then Maharaj said, so you have gone to preach, na? You have gone to uplift them. You have gone to deliver them. Deliver them. So did you understand what I am saying? Mood is one thing. Same thing, these are new people. They don't know. And why he has gone to that new village? To help them. To serve them. To uplift them. So digest it. You are a preacher. You are a Parivajaka Now deliver them. This is a risk also. I should not say risk in the sense of risk means that risk is there for every sadhu. Right? Actually, he is the pain processor. That's what Gaurang Bhu also said. He should accept the problems and give bliss. That is sadhu. My Lord. Yeah, bro. Bro, you go in village, that's the system. Yeah, so who amazing. Amazing. So that is the case. So distribute mercy of Jagannath. So that is the case, bro. So what is the point? I think recently in Bhaktivedanta class, one devotee asked Radhesham. So please see, I am sharing this, you keep it with you and be discriminative in sharing. That one devotee asked, sometimes counselors are having Vyas Pujas and Pad Prakshala. Radhesham was asking, who is that? He was saying, who is that? So, that is another side of the problem. Once Radhesham went to a program and Radhesham's birthday was there. I don't know, you know this story, I think. Some of you know. Some of you know, right? You know. Tell. So what happened? Entirety. He was angry, surely. But what he did, how he dealt. So he went there, his birthday was there. So big congregation program, many Matajis, not just one house, it was like big program. So program happened some extent and they brought cake. Celebrate. Radhashampur, so for whom it is? Your birthday. Then he became angry. He said that actually this kind of things have to celebrate it for spiritual master. I'm not your spiritual master. Then he spoke 1 hour class to tell them that whom you should do this, how you should do this, why you should do this, what should be the mood, what should be the purpose and everything. Hmm? And then, and Mataji's who made or whatever, they will be so displeased, right? Like Prabhuji came and he became angry and he's not happy. Then Adishampu was, so cakes are there. So he asked, there were children also. So whose birthday was there or whose birthday is today or last 2, 3 days, whose birthday was there? So 2 children came ahead. So for them. So he called them and so cake was also distributed to devotees. So that's how, this is how a sadhu deals. So actually, this is how actually Prithu Maharaj. So he has to teach. He has to educate. Because people are innocent. People are innocent. And these are all already practicing devotees. That's why he gave lecture. Right? But actually now new thing, what Maharaj is telling, new village, now you deliver them means what? He can't do anything. He has to allow. Tolerate and pray for them. Because their intention is good. And we have gone to do that. Compassion. Exercise compassion. Oh. Okay. Alumni in Odisha. They called in his home.
Local.
Yes.
Then welcome to it. Then they brought plate and washed his feet.
So they could do. So my Lord, amazing. Thank you for saying. So you see this now. There he didn't give lecture because they are new people. I have come to serve them. They don't know. And you were there? Personally, who was there? Shuddha Chitta Prabhu will be there. Na? Very nice scene it is. Radhashambhu is accepted. But he accepted. And then he went inside. You must have glorified Bhagavatam. So they are taking Bhagavatam also. So that way they are getting mercy of Bhagavatam, very great soul. So that's the thing, bro. So do the needful. No, be compassionate. Don't go by karma. Karma thought process is not good. That is not. Then what preaching will do? Because that's the way. Purpose of sadhu is that only. But not to anyone and everyone whom you have gone to serve. Not even accidental, I would say. You have gone to serve some people there. And they are not sufficiently, and they have cultured background, and they don't know about ISKCON way of working. And then you have gone to speak to them, do some abhishek or whatever. Now something is there, right? Some program is there. You will glorify the Lord, do kirtan, all that. So it is not about accidental. It is about, yeah. Yes. Sometimes for me also very difficult. That's why when Vaishnavas are there around, like Shirwal. So the Shirwal we have program in the Vitthal Mandir where they do every day that Haripat. So on that Thursday, their Haripat they do before and they also sit in the class, all of the Matajis. So their culture is, they touch the feet and everything. So that time I do like this and I tell so we should have Jai Vijay. We should be like this and we should tell our Grasta. So I tell our More Prabhu that Prabhu, please do the needful. So that is another way of, if there is something and there is congregation also and there are some new people like that. Okay. along with him. One more brahmachari. Brahmachari. My Lord. Photo. And my Lord, Hari Bol. Amazing, amazing this is. Amazing this is. He held it like this. And you were there personally? Correct, correct. Chandrapur means, yeah. My Lord, amazing. This is really amazing. So no one is hurt, but person is also nice. Spirit. Amazing. So the different way of dealing and accepting. Yeah. So why we went there? Because Prithu Maharaj worshipped. Yeah. Actually, the greatest receptivity of the audience depends on the respect they have for the sadhu. So that cannot be cut. So that is the receptivity they have. That's miss. To that degree, their heart is open to receive it. What you are trying to give. Yeah. So this we read, na 14th. 14th is over. So imagine he worshipped all of them first, and then he said, and stars and amazing. So see, this is what do you say? Na dashamasya vishuddhyartham navanamiha lakshanam varnayanti mahatmanah shutenarthena chanjasa. So when Prabhupada is writing the purport, he is remembering Puthu Maharaj, and then what he is remembering? Same thing when Krishna it happened. So it happened in Yudhishthir Maharaj's sacrifice. So that's what he is right. The first procedure in the receiving guest is to wash their feet. And it is learned from the Vedic literature that one time when Maharaj Yudhishthir performed Rajasuya sacrifice, Krishna took charge of washing feet of visitors. Similarly, Maharaj Putho also arranged for proper reception of the demigods, saintly sages, brahmanas, and this. So wait a minute, what service Pruthu did? He also did the same service, or he got it done? What is written? Huh? He arranged, Prabhupada says, what is in the verse? The Pruthu stood up in the assembly among the great persons worthy of worship, who had been worshipped befitting to their status like moon among the stars. Pruthu stood up to make some announcement among the worshipable sages. Okay, so he stood up. So why I am asking, this is a very, very key point this is. So I think I discussed this now. Why Krishna took this seva? Sensitive. Correct. It will lead to yagya chidra. Fault in yagya. So there will be problem. So who can do without fault? Yes. What abhimana rahit person can do. So I will do it. Better I do it. So person can wash feet, but with abhiman, if he's washing, the sage can see that abhiman and he will pinch him. So that is Krishna. So Prabhupada is remembering that. Rajas. And actually what I remembered was actually later Krishna's lotus feet was also washed in Agra Puja. And then that I already told. That he was saying no, but Yudhishthir did. 15 translation.
King Prithu's body was tall and sturdy, and his complexion was fair. His arms were full and broad, and his eyes as bright as the rising sun. His nose was straight, his face very beautiful, and his personality grave. His teeth were set beautifully in his smiling face.
Yeah. So Pruthu's now next 2-3 verses are going to tell the beauty of Pruthu. So Prabhupada writes that bodily feature depend on previous impressions and karma. So read the translations quickly.
The chest of Maharaj Prithu was very broad, his waist was very thick, and his abdomen wrinkled by lines of skin, resembling construction a leaf of a banyan tree. His navel was coiled and deep. His thighs were of a golden hue, and his instep was arched.
What is the instep? I don't know. What is the instep? Udagrapat. Arched instep. Read ahead.
The black, slick hair on his head was very fine and curly, and his neck, like a conch shell, was decorated with auspicious lines. He wore a very valuable dhoti, and there was a nice wrapper on the upper part of his body.
So what is this conch shell like neck? Where it comes else?
Damodar Lila.
Even Damodar's neck is like that. Trirekhankha kantha. Same here also. Yeah. 18.
As Maharaj Prithu was being initiated to perform the sacrifice, he had to leave aside his valuable dress, and therefore his natural bodily beauty was visible. It was very pleasing to see him put on a black deer skin and wear a ring of kusha grass on his finger. For this increased the natural beauty of his body. It appears that Maharaj Prithu observed all the regulatory principles before he performed the sacrifice.
Yeah, so I think this is shown here. Because this assembly will end with the arrival of Kumaras. And so black deer skin is there, curly hairs are visible. And how humble he is, These are children, so beautiful there. Nicely shown. Yeah, next. 19.
Just to encourage the members of the assembly and to enhance their pleasure, King Pritha glanced over them with eyes that seemed like stars in a sky wet with dew. He then spoke to them in a great voice.
Yeah. So his beauty and his influence of his beauty is detailedly explained by Shukdev. Last thing is he's going to glorify his speech before his actual speech. Very beautiful verse. Charu chitrapadam slakshanam mushtam gudham aviklavam sarvesham upakarartham tada anuvadanniva.
Maharaj Prithu's speech was very beautiful, full of metaphorical language, clearly understandable and very pleasing to hear. His words were all grave and certain. It appears that when he spoke, he expressed his personal realization of the absolute truth in order to benefit all who were present.
Yeah, so this was quality of beauty of his speech, right? So actually Srila Prabhupada writes in Bhagavad Gita that the greatest quality of man is what? What is the quality in this context? It's easy to guess, right? Yes. So where Prabhupada writes that? Exactly. There only or one verse before that. Same context. So a fool is disclosed as soon as he opens his mouth. That's what Prabhupada says. So there he says, most important quality of man is speech. Most important. Only one place it is there, mostly that one. Yeah, one can know specific symptoms. So Arjuna is asking symptom, na? Sitapradnasya ka bhasha samadhistasta keshava sitadekim prabhasheta kima sitavrajeta kim. So this question is what? What is the culture of a person who is self-realized? So culture. Culture means what? How he responds, how he interacts, how he receives respect or receives problems. That is what is his consciousness is first. How he speaks is the first culture. Sabhya means what? What is Sabha? Is the place where Sabhya people are there. What is meaning of Sabhya? That one who knows how to express himself in a cultured way. मतलब वो, if he is disturbed also, he speaks in a very cultured way, not the way it is to be expressed. So that's why culture of a person who is self-realized. That's what is being asked. Because what will be seen by outsiders is culture. Culture can be experienced by others. Right? Yesterday we were talking about two great souls talking to each other. We get a glimpse of that refined exchange in them. So how they sit means how they control senses, how they. So there, in that purport only Prabhupada is writing about speech. One can know his specific symptoms in Bhagavad Gita. Most important is how the man in Krishna consciousness speaks. Most important. For speech is the most important quality of any man. Any man, most important. It is said that a fool is undiscovered as long as he does not speak. And certainly a well-dressed fool cannot be identified unless he speaks or addresses. But as soon as he speaks, he reveals himself at once. The immediate symptom of a Krishna conscious man is that he speaks only of Krishna and matters related to him. Other symptoms, so this is, so that's why Vacho Vegam, you see, the first and most difficult and most important. So here Puthu Maharaj's qualities are told here. That they are what? Charu means beautiful, Chitrapadam means ornaments, what today he was telling. Shlakshanam is very clear. Mrishta Katha, so Mrishta here is great. But they are very deep words. Aviklavam, but still they are clear, no doubt. Sarvesham upakarartham. Tada anuvadanyeva. So, like that, he is glorified. So, anudvega karam vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat. Swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva vangmayan tapa uchyate. So, these four things we should think before speaking, which actually I am just speaking, I also don't do, but that's what we should try to do. Four things. What is that? Anudvega karam. So it should not be agitating to others. Anudvega. Vakyam, satyam, it has to be truthful. Priyam means it has to be pleasing. And not just pleasing, but beneficial also. So these four things. And what can help us is the next line. That recite Shastra, recite verses. That is purifying our speech. And it's so pleasing. Now Prabhu is reciting verses. It's so pleasing to hear. No? So reciting is the austerity of speech. Swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva vangmayam tapauch. So that is a way to purify the speech. Yes, Prabhu? Yes, yes, yes. Hmm. I don't think so. I have not heard that. Because there was entire 2-day Bhagavad Brahmachari classes by Param Puja Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj and so many question answers. But there I didn't remember hearing that this is not for devotees. This is for any man. See, one quality of a person who is dear to Krishna. 15.5, 12.15, what is that? Yosman no dvijate loko, lokan no dvijate cheyaha. Harsha marsha bhayadvega mukto hi same priyaha. Very clear Krishna is telling. So udvega karam should not be spoken in general with anyone. What to speak of devotees? Now coming to students or disciples, there is some. Hmm, Prabhupada writes there only that there it can be done because they are under you. Otherwise, no. That's why recently Radhashampur was where he was telling in Brahmachari class. See, here I am like this. I go to all other temples and people say, "Ah, Radhashampur is very humble and you will laugh at it," he said. He said like that. Because what I do, I just so see I don't speak anything. But here I see this is my responsibility here. He was clearly saying this recent I am saying. Recent Bhakti Vedanta only was. And I was like laughing how amazingly he's saying that. That here he said you will be surprised how they are saying like that. Because that is not my cup of tea. Hmm? It is not my thing. Just appreciate. So agitating speech, I don't see that in Shastra also. You have any case where it was discussed, some case where it was agitating and or agitating or any other means, means any example was given, then we can understand the whole thing. Because some context will be there for that. Hmm? Yes. Yes. But bro, Adhikar, you see, Adhikar of Prabhupada. But how many times he did like that? Yes. So that is the point. And he is speaking angrily, or he is saying, I'll kick with my boot the people. And Guru Maharaj says that time he was not wearing the boots also. He was not wearing the boots, right? But he was saying, so doesn't mean, so great compassion is there in that. But anyone else is doing like that. So it's not that is the only way to express compassion. That is the way Prabhupada did because of he saw closely, he saw. Who else has to experience what Prabhupada experienced? Very rarely now. Everything is set. So my understanding is the exalted people, these rules, nirgrantha api urukrame, right? No rule applies. Or the other words, the other verse is, what is that? Teji samna doshaya. Because no false ego. Everything is burnt in that. That is another principle. And this and that. Then it's okay. No problem. They can do anything. They can steal, they can borrow like this Alvars did. They have nothing, no false ego. Everything for seva. Yes, but how much previous in actually investment is too fruity word. That's what these all words are Western. I don't like them very much. They are not Shastric words. Invest and withdraw. What this? This is all fruits. Krishna does that, kya? Krishna is never worrying about I am investing, I will withdraw one day. Never. That is pure devotion. That's pure devotion. And Vidura is going, actually, you see, Vidura is leaving what is relishing. See, 35 years he didn't go. And he was not compassionate that time of Dhritarashtra. What do you say? He was compassionate, no? All throughout he was compassionate. While he was there, he was compassionate. 35 years he was compassionate. While hearing Bhagavatam, he was compassionate. But after he heard Prachini Parishat, who was such attached, but Narad Muni's preaching made him detached. He remembered, my brother is there. So with great hesitation he left, bro. Because he has come, he has left his seva. For what? For what he left? Yamraj post. No compassion. No preaching. No association. You are going closer, but he wanted to hear Harikatha. Because there, what is he doing? Punishing and punishing and punishing. That's all. Not many devotees. So he wanted some, means I have not read, but I have heard many times. You must have heard, right? So Krishna, so he came for that, but his compassion took over. He has to leave Maitreya. So he went with that. So no investment, nothing. Devotee is eternally investing only, never withdrawing anything. Actually, he is giving only. Actually, withdraw means you take something. You don't take anything. Actually, recently I read one statement of Prabhupada Bhakti Charu Maharaj that when a person chastises someone, he is giving his pious credit to that person. So we are talking about agitating speech. This statement is a very mystic statement. But it's true. Actually, that's why there is the entirety of someone criticizing you is cleaning you. And someone is chastising us means he's concerned. So he's giving his pious credit that he should follow. So that is what. So Nirgrantha people are different. They are on different realm of consciousness. Rules are not there for them. Otherwise, first verse of Vacho Vegam is there, no? Vacho Vegam is there. So that what, even if you see Vidura agitating, you see where Bhagavatam agitating speech, Vidura's case you can see. Where else very agitating speech is there? Suruchi. Yeah. But correct. And Suruchi spoke and he affected. So that's what. But Daksha is speaking how Shiva responded. Agitating. And that time they tried to stop him. Anyway, agitating speech is there. Udvega. Actually, Vidura didn't tell them that Krishna left agitating. Because wrong news will reach them. I will not tell them that. Any other?
Devyani.
Yes, bro.
Devyani. Samrishta and Devyani.
Devyani Sarmishta. Lot of my Lord, whole story. Amazing. Greatly agitating. Yeah, but that is with love and affection. So that. And Arjuna is also speaking like that afterwards. So it's a friendship actually. Arjuna also speaks later, na? You see that, Hare, you are telling me to shoot arrows, I should throw flowers at them. So there is a friendship. It's not like agitating, you cannot say.
So Bhakti Rasamrut Maharaj lecture I heard in that
Wonderful, thank you.
In that
That
he was
person is Anudvegakaram Vakyam personified.
so he was talking about speech only. So he that clarified that in the speech Anudvegakaram Vakyam Satyam Priyam and Hitam, four things should be there. But if at all we have to compromise, we may compromise three things, but Hitam must be there. So if Hitan speech is the that is Swarup Lakshan of the speech.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
So in that all category fits, every situation fits with good intentions. What the spiritual masters fix. It may not be pleasing, but it's for Hitam. So in that way, everything is fitted. So that is
amazing. So Swarup Lakshan of speech is Hitakarak. And the what is the other Lakshan? Swarup Tatastha Lakshan is it should be truth, it should be non-agitating, and it should be pleasing.
With this, I remember Guruji Maharaj, Radhishambhuru asking Maharaj whether I should chastise or deal with them softly.
So what he said?
When devotees are not behaving properly or doing properly. Maharaj said that you can do both, provided they improve.
Yeah.
The result is
lead
achieved.
to upliftment.
Yeah. So either you chastise them or you tell them softly, engage them. But it should left end result should be good.
End result should be good. Amazing, bro. This is actually Swarup Lakshan, Tatas Lakshan. If you understand anything, then things become extremely clear. It's like amazing. Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj ki jai. Because he spoke that here there are so many question answers, bro. So somehow that time I think he didn't say that. That time he made 2 points. I don't remember fully now. But this is very what he said. Of four is hitam. No, that's a good thought. It's no issue at all. So very nice. So speech is very important. And I have seen the refined souls, they communicate something which is very, even so to say, agitating. In a way it is not agitating. Right? And I have seen many times that some person is asking question one after the other, but then the way respond is given by the great soul is, no, I would like to stop the discussion at this point with full calmness and collectedness. There is no moment at all. Because what is the problem is agitating, na? That's why the first is agitating, right? So like vacho egam is first. So agitating. So agitation one does, that's what Jai Vijay का केस में वही हुआ ना. But जय विजय में वैसा किया नहीं. नहीं तो क्या होता है, एक एजिटेट हो गया तो दूसरा भी एजिटेट, फिर ये होता. So ये false ego, what is meaning of agitation? You are going and pinching the false ego of a person. So you keep ego, respect ego and communicate. This is an agitation. Because he is identifying himself with the ego. That's why I think Radheshampu, amazing. Radheshampu wanted to say, there was a meeting going on in Chowpatty where all the temple TMCs were there. Shamanand Prabhu, Radha Gopinath Prabhu, Govind Prabhu, Gaurang Prabhu and Sanat Kumar Prabhu and Prabhuji. So they were discussing about some point, and then Shamanand Prabhu said to Radheshampu that Radheshampu, you keep your opinion 5 feet away. Radheshampu asked, why you are saying like that? He said, I want to shoot your opinion, not you. So Radheshampu was so happy. Means this is the depth of thought. So you and your opinion are two different things. So this is such a refined speech. Can you understand? Can you please put your opinion 10 feet away? I want to shoot that, not you. This is amazing speech. So generally we combine the two, the opinion and the person. So we hate the person and hate the opinion, or we disobey with the opinion, but disobey with the person, disrespect the person. He's like that only. So we have to learn to separate the two. That's why Gaurang Prabhu made one statement. This is there in this Ambarish Maharaj and Durvas Muni Charitra. He says that actually in this material world, when we are dealing with the people, it is almost like walking on a landmine, where everywhere landmines are there. So we don't know where you put the leg, boom, pad jayega kidhar. We don't know. So what is that landmine? What is the landmine? The ego. False ego, किसका कितना बड़ा है पता नहीं. So we have to be careful. If we press on false ego, it's like landmine. It will burst, hurry, burst into this thing. So we have to be careful. That's what I think that happens. Na? Ambarish Maharaj but he became very angry. So that is the case. So Anudvega. So it can be affirmative speech. It can be even disagreeing. You are disagreeing also. But agitating means what? Actually, that is the point. When we are having some enmity with person, then our speech is tinged with our ego. And that our ego touches his ego. When Prabhupada is chastising someone, there is no ego in that. So there is no problem for other person most of the time. So the whole point is that's why other day we were discussing that whatever you are telling, instructing, controlling, how much it is mixed with your ego. If it is too much mixed with your ego, better don't correct. First you correct yourself. If it is not very serious mistake, more serious than his mistake is which mistake? My mistake. My ego is so much. I have negative perception toward that person. So little fault he does, I see big. You agree? Like some people, if we have some negative interactions, a little bit here and there they say something in class, we may feel, अरे why this? Other devotee will say, अरे 10 चीज अच्छा बोला, तू ये क्यों देख रहा है? मैं बोला लेकिन ये ऐसा क्यों बोला? So what is the problem is we zoom that. That is envy actually. Envy means गुणेषु दोष आविष्कार. दोष का आविष्कार करते. That is so. The more we don't see, the moment we are able to see good and bad both, that is reality. We are close to real vision, and then we go further to what is that vision? Because vision comes before speech. Right? So this is our who says this? Sati is telling with great anger his father, her father. So that levels are there, right? Ati asadhuttam. So he can see fault where there is no fault. Ati asadhuttam is. There is sadhuttam, asadhuttam. Then asadhuttar. Then there is asadhu. There is sadhu. And there is sadhutar. And there is sadhuttam. And then ati asuta asadhuttam. So what is the difference from here? This is tamogun and this is sattvagun. So more you see reality, more you become free from envy. You see the reality. You can see both. Otherwise, what happens? Zoom unzoom happens because of our envy or rajogun and tamogun. So we don't see the real, we see the fault, small fault as big. And we don't see the good. The moment we are seeing both and able, so what is sadhu? Sadhu's definition is he is seeing both and he sees faults can be engaged in bhakti. This is sadhu. So it's a very exalted practice in one sense. Seeing and he's not having any problem with the faults. And he sees, okay, faults can be engaged in Krishna's service. So that way, so then he will speak, right? So anything, because speech and interaction, first is vision, and that's what is awarded by spiritual master. Chakshudan, Vilojan, Janme. How we perceive this world. So then how we speak. So it's too high time. I'm sorry. This 2:21. So we'll pause here and we'll hear the instructions from personality who is fully qualified to speak on instructions. That is Sriman Devadipati Prabhu. Krishna willing. Tomorrow, so this is the best arrangement for you, I can say. That we are beginning with instructions from tomorrow only. So Prabhu will speak from there. Okay. So thank you all for your kind attention and participation and opportunity. That unfortunately, Devadipati Prabhu was supposed to come, but still Krishna's desire was different to increase tolerance of all of you. So you gave me opportunity. So I'm very grateful to you for this section. Nantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Prathu Maharaj ki jai.
Also learned Prabhuji very nice and your many experiences you shared. So many things new things we learned, and your was also very in depth. You are explained many things, referring to and connecting many things. So we are also happy to have you as our teacher. Hare Krishna.
Yes, so as Prabhuji said, it was Krishna's arrangement, whether to give Rasmalai or Rasgulla. Both are tasty. so, so we got the Prabhuji association. Actually, Prabhuji Actually, from all this only I have got the association of Prabhuji, and really, for me, that has inspired me a lot in my own studies. I never had so much of deep reading this. But as soon as you associate with drunkard, you become drunkard. So Prabhuji is drinking the nectar of Bhagavatam so much and always sharing it when we're young, noise and also. But it was very inspiring. So from that time only, I'm not at this level, but little bit is there. That's why we are somehow going on here. So thank you so much, Guruji, for taking out your valuable time and sharing gem like dem deep realizations from so many classes, so many years. Some people call Prabhuji as Parishit of our temple. Or it's really grateful. Please forgive us if we could not be so sincere to hear nicely. But thank you very much for taking out your time. So let us thank Prabhuji by heartily by one time loudly chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. His Grace समर्पण को प्रभु की, Srila Prabhupada की.
I want to thank all of you. Each one of you should thank each other because there is participation by other persons. By one loudly chanting heartily for all other hearers, including myself.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Study Bhagavatam nicely, the greatest well of time which you have. Eat very nicely and make others also. That will solve a lot of problems.